What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web here on my favorite day of the week.
Hump Day.
It is a Hump Day edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, Rays Up fans, Tampa Bay Lightning fans, USF Bulls fans, it's your time. So how do we start off this good time here on a Wednesday night? Three things. You know them, you love them, you got to have them. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. On tonight's show, we will talk about Lavonte David retiring, making it official. Definitely wanted to set the table with that because I know that there are Bucs fans out there that are very emotional about this situation. It is truly an end of an era. David with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the last 14 years decided to hang it up yesterday. And the reasons are very simple. Father Time is undefeated, but also that he wants to be a father to his little girl. And I have no problem with that at all. But it's definitely a difficult time for a lot of Bucs fans right now because you look at it from the grand scheme of things, because you know me, I'm all about perspective. The eternally optimistic one. That's what I call myself. I think everybody calls me optimistic. You get tired of it. Like when are you gonna break loose? When are you gonna be negative? When are you gonna be pessimistic? I just don't have it in me. I tell it like it is. But Mike Evans moving on, of course, to the San Francisco 49ers. First pick for Jason Lightstender. And now Lavonte David moving on. 2 franchise faces. One offensively, one defensively. So I definitely want to get your thoughts on this, Bucs fans, tonight. The phone lines will be open. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391 as we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever they call it. Instagram Live, TikTok. Gotta love that. LinkedIn Live. I'll try to be professional. I swear I'll try. I don't know how professional I can be with some of the web heads the other night because you were definitely on one. That's for sure. Also, special shout out to my little sister. It's her birthday tonight. I probably should be out celebrating with her, trying to get her drunk. She's 46 years old. So web heads, everybody say happy birthday, Chrissy. Chrissy Blake, my little sister, of course, now 46. Close to me in age. I'll be 48 this year. It's crazy, right? It's how the years go. Why is she so important to me besides being my little sister? Because actually, believe it or not, she's one of the main reasons why we started on YouTube in the first place. See, we didn't do live content. I wasn't smart enough to do live content at first. And she used to hold the cell phone like this, and it was about as big as this, right? And we used to do take after take after take. And when I tell you that I'm a taskmaster when it comes to doing a show and making sure it's correct, and we're talking about 3 to 10 to 13-minute shows, and she would sit there and hold the cell phone. I always tell this story. And the poor thing, her arm was about to fall off, and I would do take after take after take, and finally I'd get it right. And I didn't pay her money at all. Like, she did it because she loved me. So I'll never forget her for that. Not just because she's my sister, but because she helped me out with the evolution of sports talk television. So happy birthday to you, Chrissy. I hope you're watching. If you're not, I can definitely understand it. Be safe and know that we love you here on the evolution of sports talk television. With that being said, as we get that out of the way, let's go out to some of our sponsors. Look, you like the haircut? I probably need to get a haircut. The beard trim definitely needs a little work here. If you want to go out and get a fade, you don't have to go far. It's up the block barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Tell them the Rolex reporter Peter Blake sent you. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the talented barbers there at Up the Block Barbershop. All right. Now, with that being said, my new baby right here, it's called Bucs Latest. This is a test, Bucs fans. Can you pass the test? Can you go like and subscribe to Bucs Latest there on the Fan Arts Network? We are over 600 subscribers. And the guy's like, big deal. You're at 600 subscribers on YouTube. I remember when I had my first beer, but that's only in 3 weeks, by the way. Every day, a Bucs show for 10 to 15 minutes. You get a chance to sit down. We recap it. I recap the Lavonte David retiring. You can't call in. It's live at 11 a.m. Even when I'm not live, we record it. 11 a.m. every day, Bucs Latest on the Fan Arts Network. And then, like I said, I'm on TikTok now. Thanks to this agency right there, the Carter Agency, because it's more than a game. I don't want to confuse it with EA Sports. It's in the game. It's more than the game. It's Carter Agency right there. Thank you very much for the opportunity once again, for believing and putting out the evolution of sports talk television and having us join your agency there on TikTok. With that being said, let's go out because we will have Bushman of the Rays Rewind podcast. We'll get you ready for Rays opening day. But I want to start out with Bucs. Let's go out to Alex. Alex, welcome to the evolution of sports talk television, my friend.
I just want to say God bless the community. God bless the Tampa Bay sports community. Raise up. Listen, I have an announcement. It's Wednesday night. Happy hump day, everybody.
Yes, happy hump day.
Hump day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And listen, I'm in a great mood. So, listen, I don't know if the L Bushman's coming on tonight.
He's coming on. 9:30.
After he gets done tonight, if he is, I'm gonna. You know what? Let's do something, Peter. Let's give out 2 tickets on the live tonight. 2 Rays tickets to a game. And yeah, I don't know how you want to do it, but hey, man, let's give back to the community, man.
All right.
I told you all last week that we were going to come in here and make a difference. I meant it, and you know me, I love our Rays fans. I love our community, and let's get back tonight, brother.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it about 10 o'clock or after L Bushman gets off. The broadcast, because we got him coming on 9:30 previewing the Rays. We'll talk Tampa Bay Rays baseball because tomorrow, believe it or not, opening day.
It's opening day.
Opening day for your Tampa Bay Rays.
I would like to give my little 2 cents on what's going to happen this year too, if you don't mind. But hey, listen, after I do that, I would love to give back to our community. If anyone is interested in some Rays tickets, I have front row outfield tickets. I have some home plate tickets. I have some first base side tickets I give out all the time.
Nice.
As season ticket members, we always, we love to get back to the community. So
sure.
Listen, I will call at 10 o'clock after the great L Bushman comes on, and we'll talk some Rays baseball and give out 2 tickets.
All right. Sounds good, my friend. Appreciate you as always, Mr.
All right,
Alex Nunster right there on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, giving away tickets. Another incentive of why you should tune into the show. And if it's the first time you've tuned into the Sports Web, welcome. If you're a Tampa Bay sports fan, if you're a sports fan in general, welcome. What the Sports Web is a cross between a radio and TV show with sound effects like this.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Of course, I'd be remiss. USF making moves today. They hired their new basketball coach in Chris Mack. Congratulations to them. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning, Victor Hedman has right now, he's left the team for personal reasons. So we're monitoring that situation. So a lot of things to talk about. Definitely want to focus on Lavonte David retiring. Your feelings, your best memories at this point. What do you think is next? Do you feel confident in this Bucs team going forward in 2026? Once again, let's go out to the phone lines. Abraham, welcome to the Evolution.
Good night. Happy birthday to your sister.
Thank you.
Who motivated you? Do I hear static in the back, or is that?
No, I don't hear any static. I don't hear any feedback. You're good to go. Go ahead.
All right. So, happy birthday to your sister. Also, I want to say, you know what? Lavonte retired, but there's going to be a changing in the guard and as leadership.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to transition to Antoine Winfield Jr. and Tyke Smith is going to step up as a captain. On offense, I think the transition happened last year with Emeka and also J-Mac. He was out for a bit, but I think he's going to pick up the slack. These guys, they gave a lot of years to the Bucs, but let me be honest with you, both of their best years are behind them. So it's it's going to be passing the torch, changing of the guard, but we all have to move on.
Mm-hmm.
If the same stand exists, there's a lot of pessimists, there's a lot of negativity, but people don't understand what they did. They got some good veterans that are going to contribute immediately. They're not drafting rookie potential. So there's some guys who've actually produced in the league, and they didn't spend a whole lot to get them. So they're trying to work in within their cap space. And hopefully they can nail it on every draft pick, And I think it's probably going to be an edge rusher first round. And maybe a linebacker second round, since they got 2 linebackers, so.
Well, I think it's certainly possible. I definitely think it's possible to go edge rush, and I think you got to hit it out of the park when you go draft because, again, these veteran players, they have been productive. They are up there in age, and again, if it doesn't work out, then don't be surprised that the Bucs reset it all, and it'll be a hard reset, and it hasn't happened in a while. And again, I'm not looking to that. I'm not looking forward to that at all if it does happen. And again, I'm going to try to be optimistic about the season and let it play out, much like with the Rays, because I hear a lot of Rays fans saying, well, I don't expect much. Well, it's always those years where you don't expect a lot to where they surprise you. The Rays are for that. The Bucs have done that before. So we'll see if that can work out in 2026 for both teams. So hopefully it does, because if not, we're going to have a lot of angry Rays fans. We're going to have a lot of angry Bucs fans, but we got you covered here on the Evolution.
I think the fans are overreacting to any kind of setbacks, and they don't understand. Sometimes good things come out of bad, bitter endings, and they got to just see the light at the end of the tunnel and just stay positive. And the defense needs to be rebuilt, and I see a lot of energy there and I see a lot of positive things with the special teams coach Miles Killebrew coming. I see a lot of good positive things with Ken Gainwell. I think I think his attitude is way better than Rashad White. He'll bring a lot more to the table than Rashad White. I don't see the negative parts of whatever happened. I see the positive parts. And
all right.
I wish the fan base would understand look at the positives instead of dwelling on the negatives. Understanding that everything has to come to an end. Nothing is forever. Even Tom Brady coming in, it was not going to be forever.
Of course.
He got to eventually retire and move on.
Of course.
And let's move on. Let's stop dwelling on the past and getting hung up on one or two players. Just let's move on from that. Let's realize that it's the standard and the culture, and just have faith in the process.
All right, Abraham, appreciate the call. Use the second one if you want to. All right, my friend.
All right, no problem.
All right, so let's go ahead, set the table here with Lavonte David, what he had to say at the press conference in case you missed it. He said, I feel it's time to move on and find a different path in my life. Be a dad to that amazing little girl over there. Having a girl help me become a man, help me understand what's important in life. He said that he came to this decision about a week ago. Again, this is from Lavonte David's press conference yesterday at One Buck Place. The first thing I thought about is figuring out my life, figure out my identity, figure out who is Lavonte David. Of course, he's been playing since the age of 6. People see me as Lavonte David, the football player, but who is Lavonte David? The main thing is being a great father. So that was Lavonte David, a little snippet of his press conference. We'll go out to the web heads here, read the comments, and once again, we'll have Bushman on at 9:30. I want to take as many phone calls as possible tonight. I want to know how you Bucs fans are feeling, because I watched the press conference too. I wasn't feeling so great about it. Let's go out to Brightside Broadway from North Carolina. Welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, Peter, how are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
Doing all right. I heard what was said on Monday night, and I couldn't call in because the power was out.
All right.
Because of a windstorm.
Oh, geez. Well, good thing you're okay, man.
We were out. It was out for a couple of hours.
Okay.
So, but I want to say this. Baker Mayfield is one of the best quarterbacks I've seen.
Do you think he's the face of the franchise now? Do you think he's one of the faces of the franchise going forward with now Lavonte David retiring and Mike Evans moving on?
You're not a lot of people are not going to like this, but I still have faith in Baker Mayfield.
Okay. All right. No problem.
I still think he has a year to show us what he can do if the offensive line will give him enough time.
Okay.
Bear in mind, we had a injured year last year with a lot of players injured. With a healthy team, I think we still have a very good team.
Well, we'll see. They got some things to do. They got some things and some things to work on when it comes to drafting. They got some holes you have to fill. You're going to have to go with edge rusher. You're going to have to figure out what your inside linebacker is, because Anzalone, he's for the now. He's not necessarily for the future. Roseboom at this point could be a starter, also could be a backup, could be special teams. So you still have to fill that need. And then again, edge rusher, you get Muhammad for 1 year. It's like a prove it deal at this point. Shaq Barrett type of situation. He's been able to do it. Can he do it again? Can he duplicate those numbers of sacks? Can guys step up at this point? And there's still talk about Baker Mayfield. There was a rumor yesterday, a report from The Athletic, that the Bucs are exploring the option of re-signing Baker Mayfield to a major extension. So we'll get into that also. What else, Brightside?
Can I just say this? What you said Monday night, I don't understand why people are so negative after 1 year.
Because they got a bad taste. Because they got a bad taste in their mouth. That's why they got a bad taste in their mouth. So
exactly.
we just gotta deal with it. That's it. All right, Brightside. Appreciate the call. Use the second one if you want to, my friend. All right.
Thank you, Peter. Go Sportsman. Fire the cannons.
Yes, fire those cannons. Love it.
Fire the cannons!
All right, let's go out to the commenters here. The webheads, of course. Facebook stars are open, so give to that. If you like the content, give to the content. And, of course, YouTube Super Chats. Again, if you like the content, give to the content here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Let's go out to Jim.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell is the matter with you?
Let's go, Peter Blake and the Sports Web. Appreciate you as always there on YouTube. King Cook 1485. What's good, Peter? What's good, webheads? We back. We are back. Love that. Chris Cole says, evening, everyone. LVD is a legend on and off the field. Completely agree with you, Christopher Cole.
Oh, yeah!
Let's go out to Roger Greenberg here, 1205 there on YouTube. What do you think about the Rays and what they will do this year? Not really sure. Not really sure at this point. We're going to get the latest from L. Bushman. The phones continue to ring. This is what I like. Let's go out to Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, welcome to the Evolution. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon, man.
Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yes, sir. What's going on? How you doing?
Man.
It's a nighttime here, Mr. Williams. Well, what's going on with you?
Yeah, man. First of all, I heard a couple of things. All right, hello. Is that better?
It's fine, man. I can hear you just fine. Go ahead.
All right. But I want to say, hey, we thank number 54. We thank him for everything he did here.
Right.
Okay? Appreciate him. He will always be a family of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He's a Buck for life. He didn't go to another team, Mr. Williams. He's a Buck for life, just like Derek Brooks.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And another thing I want to collaborate on.
Yep.
All right, Chris, it's your time. Okay, it's Chris Godwin's time now. On me saying that is Mike raised you. Now it's time for you to raise these other receivers.
You definitely that's a good point.
We need a 17 game out of you. We need a 17 season out of you, or
yes.
we need the whole season out of you this year.
Yes, agree. Completely agree. You definitely need Chris Godwin healthy.
Mike
yes.
is not here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you went down, Mike carried the load. Mike, go. You got to be here for Buka and the rest of these guys.
Right. Jalen McMillan and Tez Johnson. Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. It's time for you to step up to be a veteran now.
Absolutely.
Because if we can't get a full season out of you this year, I hope Todd and Light see what you can get for us.
Well, again, if it goes south, and it's been talked about a lot on this show, when the season hasn't started, they will definitely consider trading the veterans on this team, either at the middle of the season, yes, or the off season. Because
really, he's the last one. He is. Besides, no, I'm talking about on the offense. As that wide receiver core, Chris Godwin is pretty much the captain for these young guys, man.
It's a good point. It's definitely a good point. He's a veteran.
Pretty much the GOAT now. He is pretty much the GOAT now, man.
I don't think he's the GOAT, but I definitely think he's a veteran on this team. He's got to stay healthy, and I think he can return to promise.
Because when he went down, Mike hold the wide receiver core, man. I mean, he raised all the young guys, man. And right, like I say, and I still say again, it's a Vincent Jackson era. Vincent raised Mike, Mike raised Chris.
Correct. Very good, man.
You feel me?
I got you. I feel you, Mr. Williams. Appreciate the
Right,
call.
so
Use the second call.
Like I say, hey man, we still love Mike. Mike got his legacy here in Tampa.
Right.
Hey man, always long live number 13 here in Florida, man.
Long live number 13. Long live 54. But 54 is a buck for life. Mike Evans is now a San Francisco 49er. All right, Mr. Williams. Appreciate the call as always. All right.
Man, up the show, brother.
Yeah, man. Love you too, brother. All right. We'll get back to the comments in just a moment. Keep on commenting. You know me. I will definitely read every comment. Facebook stars are open. YouTube super chats. Let's go out to our guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and give him a Rays welcome. Can't wait to hear that. What is it? Next week at the opening day is on the road. Of course, they're going to play their games on the road for opening week for them. But then they get back to the Trop. Go out to this guy right here. We're going to hear a lot from him during the season. He's my Rays guy, Mr. L. Bushman of the Rays Rewind podcast.
What's up, brother?
Yes, welcome to the Evolution Sports Talk Television, my friend.
I love the setup. Your studio setup's like it's like a memorabilia shop now, man.
It really is. I mean, you got Lavonte David there, signed jersey. I got the All-Star jersey and the floor there, which I got to put it in a case. I got a case for it, so I'm going to work on that. You got Tropicana in the back there. I got to get some lightning gear. Somebody's going to give me some lightning gear, but the wall is nearly filled up. And here's what people don't understand. Like, I have to really be creative when it comes to putting things on the wall because realistically, I can't put things on the wall. I'm not supposed to do it.
I got you.
I live with roommates, and they're like, one of them. Yes,
you got to abide by the roommate rule. So I got you.
Yeah, it's tough. I get a lot of stuff for it, if you will. I almost said the other word, and I get real creative with this, L. Bushman. So
I got you.
Where do we start with this Rays team? I mean, I think there's excitement here. I also hear a lot of Rays fans say, you know what? I don't expect a lot. There's already injuries. Pepio's on the IL. You lose your shortstop there, and Walls, defensive guy. Carson Williams is now the starting new shortstop. Gavin Lux is going to be out, who they acquired. I mean, where do we start here with this Tampa Bay Rays team in 2026? Once again, welcome to the Evolution.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Peter. Yeah, it's tomorrow starts the season for the Rays. They're in St. Louis, and then a couple of days ago we get some injuries with Pepio being on the IL with hip inflammation, and Gavin Lux, who pretty much all spring has been here and there with his cranky shoulder, as they put it on the X from the reports that we're getting from Mark Tompkin and everything. So I think they'll be okay. Yeah, there's a lot of talk from fans about how this is kind of like a different season, obviously with the brand new ownership and coming back to the Trop and all the hype surrounding Junior Caminero. It's definitely, there's a lot of excitement coming back because especially with FanFest was like a month ago and there was 50,000 people there. There's definitely like an aura around this team coming in the 2026. Now, how long will that aura last? We don't know. So we'll see as the opening weeks coming through, and obviously with the injuries, it's it sucks, but I'd rather have these injuries now than have them later in the season when it could matter the most when it comes down to playoff baseball. But we'll see. I mean, Carson Williams is that the guy that came out last year as the number one prospect to take over shortstop. Obviously, we all thought he was going to be starting down in Durham, but then the injury bug hits Taylor Wall. So Carson gets into that spot for shortstop. I said this on my show a couple episodes ago. Actually, the latest episode of the Rays Rewind podcast, which you can see at the Sick Podcast Rays Rewind on YouTube. You can subscribe whenever you want. That Ben Williamson will be a big impact player for this team because he's pretty much a Swiss Army knife. He can play short. He can play third. He could also play second. So I think you'll get a lot out of him from that trade that we had over the offseason for that 3-team trade.
Yeah, I think it comes down to this, right? Junior Caminero clearly is the face of the franchise at this point. You saw him in the World Baseball Classic. So if you want a reason, one of the main reasons to watch the Tampa Bay Rays in 2026, if not for anything else, it's Junior Caminero. Talk about this young man.
Yeah, man. I think with what he has been doing this offseason with, we've heard about him stepping up as a leader in the clubhouse, even though he's 22 years old, but really kind of taking the reins as being the superstar and face of the franchise per se. I mean, he's gone out, he's doing interviews in English, which tells you how much he cares about taking that extra step and being an English speaker now and doing interviews in English. But, I think he knows there's a lot of hype with him and being that guy, because we saw that last year at the Big Stein with him hitting 45 home runs. I know there's a lot of people saying, well, that's at a minor league stadium, we'll see how he does at Tropicana Field, but I think you're going to see a lot more than what he did last year. I think with his improvement on the field too as well, his defense has definitely improved, and then having that I tweeted this out a few weeks ago during the WBC. It's like, hey, he's having his Randy Arozarena moment in the WBC. He's like that 2.0 of that superstar that's kind of gaining all the headlines and, making baseball fun, as we like to say, as former Rays guest Brett Phillips. And I think, wasn't Brett Phillips on your show not too long ago?
He was on my show. Yeah, it was. We were out there at the expo, gave us about 17 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And, hats off to the Tampa Bay Rays and their new ownership. You go back through the annals of time and watch the show, how much I killed the previous ownership. I'm not doing it with this one. This one right here, they got some energy to them. And it's crazy here, El Bushman, in the short amount of time that they've owned this team. Again, the eternal optimist in me says, you know what? You may not necessarily expect anything from this Rays team this year, but it's just a sneaking suspicion that maybe they surprise you. And I hope they do. Because this ownership, they've done it right, and they do it right by hiring Phillips, who clearly is a fan favorite, and he's an ambassador. That's what you got to do. You got to reach out to fans. You got to get fans back, because that previous ownership didn't know what they were doing when it came to the fans.
It's pretty special how this new ownership group, and really give credit to Ken Babby, who's really become like the spokesperson and like the face of the team when it comes to those types of press conferences and what they're doing with the team, and really give him big ups, because he's really gone above and beyond by being out there for the fans to ask questions and being out there for Fan Fest. I mean, he was down in Fan Fest shaking hands and taking pictures. And I don't recall, I mean, maybe Stu Sternberg did that a few times, but as new ownership comes in, you really want to make a good impression. They've done that so far, I think. And look, these guys have, responded to fans on X and Facebook and stuff. When did Stu Sternberg ever do that? Never. I don't think Stu ever had an X account to begin with. So, bringing back Brett, and then, hiring Kevin Kiermaier, former guest on the Rays Rewind podcast, by the way, Kevin Kiermaier as a special consultant for helping out the outfielders too during spring training. And I know he's going to be back during the season as well. It just goes to show you that, they want the fan experience to be there for this team. And, they've taken the extra steps about, when you come back to the Trop, it's going to be, a brand new polished Trop. There's going to be brand new things to go explore. There's going to be brand new things to see and to experience. So, they've really done a bang up job by, just putting fans first. And that's what they said. I think their introductory press conference was, fans are what comes first with this team. The stadium is what we got to take care of first, but the fans are ultimately what are going to drive this team and be successful in the future is having the fans come to the games. And, I think they've done a great job. I think they're not too many seats away from being sold out yet again. So we'll see how that happens in the next, week and a half or so. I think what's left is just the expensive seats. I looked on RaysBaseball.com, and it's the premium seats that you can get for like $200-$300 that are left in Tropicana Field. So we'll see. Yeah.
And I also saw something tonight, because they're out there. We're on with the El Bushman of the Rays Rewind podcast. It's a Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter, giving you a $10 virtual if you buy a ticket in April. They talked about that tonight at the press box in Tampa, because they had one of those and I want to go out to one of these fan get-togethers, because I think this is genius.
I would love to go out there. It's in Tampa, and that's kind of far away from me. So on a weekday, it's kind of hard for me to drive an hour up in Tampa. But yeah, it's if you buy a ticket in April, you get a $10 voucher to use for a beer or use for merchandise or any kind of thing like that. I think that's pretty cool too as well. So it's another incentive to go buy tickets for the April series that are coming up. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, I just got to get out. I got to get you. I drive Uber. I drive down to Bradenton area sometimes. So if you want to come and ride in the Go Bucs red Tesla.
Hey man, if I wasn't going out of town the opening week when they come back, I'd be at the Trop, but I'm going to be going away on business, so I won't be there until they come back for the Yankee series, which I'll probably go to, even though I hate going to the Trop when Yankees fans are there. But to come back and see how the Trop looks would be awesome. So I'll be back when I come back from good old Dallas, Texas.
Old Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yes, good stuff there. But anytime, let me know. We've never met. I don't think we've ever met face to face.
We got to get the whole sports web crew together for a game.
Yes.
That has to happen this year. St. Pete's the neutral site, so we all have to go meet up for a game this year.
I know we got to do that. We should have met last year in Tampa because I'm right down the street from there. But St. Pete is not far at all. Again, 25 minutes depending on traffic. Yep. All right. Biggest question mark besides Junior Caminero being the face, who steps up? Because they get rid of Brandon Lau. They get rid of Josh Lowe at this point. So like the Bucs, and I'll get your comments on Lavonte David because I know you're a football guy, but like the Bucs kind of going through a transition at this point. So who's the guy, in your opinion, or player that steps up in this lineup to help out a Junior Caminero?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Ben Williamson. I know he's one of those guys that had a great spring. We showed a lot of power in what he was doing this spring. I think he's gonna be that sneaky X factor or breakout player that is gonna help out in the lineup. Now, obviously, the second half of the lineup is a little iffy because the Rays are missing some pop. Hopefully, we'll get 20 home runs out of Cedric Mullins. Hopefully, we'll get 20 home runs out of Carson Williams. Those are the things that we can kind of hope on. Going into the season, because first half of the lineup looks great. I mean, you can't complain with Diaz, with Aranda, with Caminero. Like that's a lineup that you want. So going into that middle and second bottom of the lineup, it's like, okay, who's gonna give us some extra power? And hopefully it's those guys that we brought in for free agency and over in trades that can make an impact. When Cedric Mullins is healthy, he can hit 20 to 25 home runs, and he's done it before. And I know he's played here before when he was with the Orioles, so he's familiar with this ballpark. So he's a guy that the Rays look to, especially for the leadership qualities too. I mean, he's an elder statesman in the clubhouse. So yeah, but for my pick, and I picked this on my show, the last episode that we had was Ben Williamson. I think everybody kind of needs to take notice of that guy.
Yeah, and I think Johnny DeLuca, he's been talked about. Defensively, he's good. Offensively, I wonder if this is his year where he kind of stands out.
If he stays healthy, he can be a definite impact player too. This is another guy that's got super quick speed on the base path and can definitely hit the ball hard. So yeah, Johnny DeLuca, if he can stay healthy, could be one of those guys too as well. Great glove in the outfield, but he's got to stay healthy.
Yeah, and then Kelton's a big time concern, as Brent says. Well, you use that excuse for the Bucs, now you're going to use it for the Rays. Listen, it's not an excuse.
That's an excuse. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Injuries are a part of the game. They're going to hurt your team, especially when you're losing, your starting pitcher, your starting, shortstop, which the Rays have already lost a starting pitcher, and they also lost a starting shortstop. A lot of people looking at the Nick Martinez deal, saying it's a disaster. I say let's let it all play out. It doesn't look good right now, Al Bushman, because him in spring training, he has been awful. So is that your biggest concern? Shane McClanahan looks like the old Shane, but what do we expect from both of those pitchers? Let's start with Nick Martinez first.
Yeah, I think everybody that takes spring training seriously maybe needs to pump the brakes a little bit, because everybody thought Curtis Mead was going to be the next big thing, and then we all know how that turned out. So I would say let's start this season first before you guys give up on a very costly free agent signing. So we'll see how he does. I mean, I'm sure this is an adjustment being on a different team, and he's going to be playing in a place he's never played before, is Tropicana Field. So or I think he has, but as an opponent, but not so much. So I would give it time. I mean, give it time. Let's revisit this maybe at the end of April and see how that goes. But other than that, I would say for all you people, oh my God, it's a disaster. It's a waste of money already. It's like we haven't even started the season yet. Like,
oh, bro, they're saying the same thing for the Bucs. I mean, the season's already over. What season hasn't even started? Well, we lost Mike Evans, and if Mike Evans leaves, that means this team stinks. And Lavonte David's retired. What are we gonna do? And it's like, listen, let's see it play out first.
See it play out. That's right.
Doom and gloomers. The sky is falling all the time, especially on Tampa Bay sports teams. Shane McClanahan.
Yeah.
Looks like the old chain.
He had the great start the other week, and I know he was fired up afterwards saying, we effing did it. So, he's the guy. For me, I'm still on pins and I'm still on the edge of my seat because there could be just any time we get that alert saying he's out for the year with another injury. But, he looked great in spring. I know he had one iffy start, but other than that, he's been looking really good. So, and I think what the Rays are doing here is, I think, putting him more down in the rotation instead of having him in like the 1 or 2 spot, I think is a good plan because you're not rushing him. You're giving him more time to rest between starts too as well. So, that's giving his arm a little bit more rest. And, he's hitting his MPHs. I mean, he's up there in the upper 90s and almost, where he was before the injury. So if he can stay healthy, this rotation will be scary when everybody's back. And I know, Pepiot's out with a hip inflammation, but, Joe Boyle, he's got a little bit of command issues, but he can still strike out people. So I think with Shane's that guy. I think we're all hoping for to have that Cy Young return to form that we know he can be. And hopefully so. I've been buying a lot of like Tampa Bay Rays baseball cards lately. So hopefully the stock on Junior Caminero goes way up, and so does Shane McClanahan. So we'll see throughout the whole season.
All right, give me some predictions here, Earl Bushman of the Rays Rewind podcast. Who do you think, besides Junior Caminero, has a great year when it comes to offensive Rays baseball? Who can return? Who returns? Is it Yandy Diaz, do you think? Or does it come back down to earth? Or is there somebody waiting in the wings here to surprise everybody that Rays fans should look out for? What's your biggest prediction or your biggest offensive prediction for this Rays team in 2026?
I wouldn't say it's a prediction because we all saw what he can do before he got injured was Jonathan Aranda. So Jonathan Aranda coming back, he can smack the ball well. So expect him to have another season like he did. Hopefully a non-injury season like he did after the All-Star break. So look out for him, and look out for going back to Ben Williamson again for him too as well. Yandy's going to be Yandy. Yandy's going to always be consistent with his plate appearances and everything. So yeah, I'm hoping my big hot take would be this team will score more runs than they did last year. That's my big hot take.
All right. My big hot take. All right. My big hot take is that Shane McClanahan returns to form. And that's the Rays. That's why the Rays surprised everybody. They're not going to finish in last place. I think they'll be in the thick of it.
Yeah. And me and Drew said that the other day. Like, look, on paper, Blue Jays got better. Yeah. Red Sox got better. Yankees are the Yankees. But to me, the Orioles, I don't think improved anything. But for me, the Rays are going to be right in the middle. I would say they could finish third and make the wild card spot at the end of the season. So that could be a hot take too. So don't sleep on this team just yet. The season hasn't even started. And everybody's going, they're finishing last place. It's like, it's a 162 game season. You guys need to chill.
All right. So what do you think is a story that could be negative about this team besides McClanahan injury? What's something that could go wrong or you're concerned about going into 2026 with this Rays team?
I think the thing that would be the biggest concern is the two biggest things that's always hindered them is not scoring enough runs, and then also the pitching. If the pitching's not there and they're not scoring enough runs, then it's going to be curtains and it's going to be a long season, and then you're going to see another like fire sale at the trade deadline. So I think that's my biggest concern is they got to score enough runs. They got to score more than 2 or 3 runs a game to win these games, especially if the pitching's not there. So
bullpen, is that a concern for you? Tell me why the bullpen should the bullpen be improved? Is it going to be improved because they gave up a lot of games last?
I think they retooled a lot of guys in the bullpen, and the one surprise was not having Cam Boozer there, but I think you'll see him probably up here sometime in the next month or so. The bullpen is actually my least concern of the team because I think they're okay. I think the bullpen is already solidified. They are going to use a closer by committee, which I think is kind of a good thing, but also kind of not. You kind of do want to have a closer in there, but obviously I'm just a podcaster. I'm not a manager or a GM, so I don't know anything about baseball. So that's what the Rays have to do. But I think with the bullpen in place, they've got the arms in there that's going to help them save games this year. Plus, you're back at the Trop. I think being outside is a whole different element than being inside in a dome. So yeah, the bullpen is my least of my concerns with this team going into 2026.
All right. We'll get to the prediction in a moment, but again, the new stadium deal. It seems like it's going to pass. It's going to get passed quickly. What are your thoughts on that? What have you heard? I don't care if you're a podcaster, you're a Rays guy on this team, you're on this broadcast, on this show, you're my Rays insider. So what have you heard about this new stadium deal? Because it certainly seems like, everything right now is going into the direction of up, but we've seen it before. It just seems kind of different.
Yeah, I think it's going to get done. Look, I even put it out there, hey, they'll probably announce on, the home opener that they got the deal done and they're going to start building and stuff. But hey, whatever, that's a pipe dream. But I think it'll get done. You'll see more movement as the season goes on. I know there was some discussions last week about the costs are going up, especially for the roof of the new stadium, which the Rays have already said they're going to cover these costs. They're going to spend the money to cover these costs. If it goes over, they're going to cover these costs. So I think they're in the right place. I think as momentum has been going on with the agreements and everything passing and just the momentum that's going on, I don't see this not happening. And if it doesn't, then it's maybe the city of Tampa is not the right spot. But I think with all parties that are working together with politicians in the city and HCC coming in there, and also with the new ownership group, I think they want to get this done. They don't want us to be another dragged out thing where it's just going to cost people more money just to be headlines about, hey, this is not getting done. So it'll get done. So I think with Rays fans, let's enjoy the start of the season. Obviously the stadium thing is going to be a big thing, but let's enjoy baseball when the season starts tomorrow. And then when they come home for the home opener against the Cubs on April 6th, and then you'll probably hear some more big news probably in the next few weeks when it comes to the stadium.
And I hope so, because Mr. Alex bet me something that if they put the shovels in the ground, that he would give me $1,000. He doesn't believe that this new stadium is going to get done. Yeah, I'm calling you out there, Alex. So I can't wait.
I hope you get your $1,000, Peter.
I deserve that $1,000, especially trying to convince this guy. I love Alex to death. He's giving away tickets tonight, so it's awesome stuff there. All right, prediction time. How many wins over under from last year? I think it's like it's been put out by Vegas, like 77 or 76, over 76, 77 wins. Do you think that's possible? Because you said third. How many wins for the Tampa Bay Rays in 2026?
I'm gonna take the over, and then I'm gonna say 85.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking 85 wins.
Yeah.
I think that's certainly possible. And who knows? Maybe they surprise. Maybe they're the surprise of Major League Baseball. Every time you think, it's always the season where it's like, okay, well, the Rays, they may be favored, and then they don't do much of anything. And then it's the season where you least expect it, where you get back McClanahan and Junior Caminero, and somebody comes out of nowhere like a Ben Williamson. You start to say, maybe this is the year where and all you got to do, Bushman, is get into the wild card. You don't even have to win your division. Get into the wild card at that point.
Honestly, I'd love to win the division. That way we're not hanging any more wild card banners at the Trop. So I'd rather have win the division.
No. Sure. Absolutely. All right. Bushman of the Rays Rewind podcast. Go ahead and promote yourself here on the Evolution.
Yeah, you can follow us at the Rays Rewind Podcast on YouTube at the Sick Podcast Rays Rewind, and also on Instagram at Rays Rewind Podcast. We do have a giveaway going right now. If you get us to 400 subs by opening day, which is today, but actually we'll extend it out to the Rays on home opener on the 6th. If you get us by 400 subs by the home opener, we'll give away a Junior Caminero 2026 Topps Series 1 autograph card. So and if you follow me on X, you'll see the post. So get us to 400, and that card will be yours.
All right. Lavonte David and Mike Evans. Let's get your comments on that. And where do you think the Bucs are going? Because right now, fans are up in arms. They feel like the season's already over. It's a dreaded season. You sign all these one-year contract deals with free agents. So Mike Evans leaving. How surprised were you by that? And Lavonte David retiring yesterday.
Lavonte, I wasn't too surprised about. I think we kind of all knew It was either play one more year or retire because he said he wasn't going to be playing anywhere else. So I think he kind of knew it was time to hang up. So I wasn't surprised by that. Mike, on the other hand, yeah, that was kind of a shocker. That he would go and San Francisco would overpay like that for Mike. Look, no offense to Mike Evans, he got his bag, but for him to go to San Francisco, look, I think there comes a time in any player's life where they've been in one team for a long time. And I know he said he wanted to retire a Buck. Look, he's going to go in the Hall of Fame as a Buck. He'll be in the Ring of Honor as a Buck. But I think if you still have some, juice left in the tank and you look at the current team that you're on that really kind of doesn't know what they're doing right now, and you're in a free agent scenario where a contender that has their stuff together and has a coach like Shanahan and has an offense weapons like that, but you're going to an aging team, an aging 49ers team that's been always banged up. It's sad, but it is what it is. It's too bad he couldn't have maybe taken a little bit less. I know the Bucs said they gave him an offer, but it's too bad he couldn't take a lot less to stay here maybe 1 or 2 years and just retire fully as a Buck. But it's a businessman, and he did his thing. So we'll see how he does in San Francisco. I hope they have fixed the turf problems there in San Fran, because I know there's been problems with guys getting hurt because of the turf issues. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and he's got hamstring issues, and actually, the Bucs are going to pay him more than the San Francisco 49ers. He actually took less, which is crazy.
Oh, he did? Well, then, yeah. So I know there's been like a lot of things going on X about what's the state of the team, and how things are being run, and just people are leaving left and right, and the Bucs are cheap, and a lot of people are pointing towards the scorecard at the end of the year with ownership getting an F and how they treated their families. So maybe that had a factor into it. We don't know. But we'll see how the season goes. I mean, I know the Bucs have made some moves past couple of weeks by signing some free agents to help out, booster up the defense. We'll see how they do in the draft. There's still plenty of free agents out there to go and sign for maybe 1-year contracts to help them out next year. But listen, the Bucs playing, and we all know it's the weakest division in the whole league. But I think coming into next year, it's going to be a lot more competitive. Look how Carolina did. Saints are on the up and up. The Bucs are probably in that mix. The Falcons are a question mark right now, but I think with the Panthers and the Saints, how they did last year, I think the Bucs are going to be in a division more competitive than they were last year.
There you go. All right, my friend, El Bushman of the Rays, the Rewind Podcast. Appreciate the time. We'll see you next week here on the Evolution. All right, my friend.
See you, Peter. Have a good one.
All right, good stuff there. We'll get him out of there. We'll come back. We'll get out to the one shot right there. We'll hold off on the phone calls. If you want to call in, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I want to read these comments because I don't want to neglect you webheads out there. Once again, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. YouTube super chats are open. Give to the content if you love the content, and of course, Facebook stars. So let's go back to these comments, and then we'll go ahead and go from there. So what do we got? All right, Marshall says, thank you, Marshall, for tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
Newest webhead there on Facebook. I'm right. Rays aren't going to do anything exciting this year. Wish I was wrong. We'll see. I'm right. King Cook says LVD Ring of Honor ceremony coming soon. Absolutely agree with that. King Cook again, go Yankees. Y'all see us setting the tempo tonight. It's again long season, but yes, last check they were winning 5-0. Marshall says thank you 54. Thank you very much for the comment. King Cook 1485. Light better be putting a play together to bring in Max Crosby, losing 2 Hall of Famers and an off-season wide receiver is going to fill that, folks. I don't think Crosby's up for trade. I really don't. There was a report out there that the Dallas Cowboys have offered 3 offers for Max Crosby, and none of them have been accepted by the Raiders. So I think, again, they're going to Max Crosby is going to stick with them. And if they do trade him, which I don't think is going to happen, but let's say they happen to do that with John Spytek, you're going to have to give up 2 first-round picks. Don't see it happening with the Bucs. Sorry, don't. Happy birthday, Chrissy. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Chrissy.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Jim.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell's the matter with you?
Happy birthday, sister. Thank you, King Cook. Shout out to the little sis. Like Jay-Z once said, we all win when the family wins. Absolutely. Brent's one of my favorite webheads and whipping boys on this show. Says, what's up, man? What's up with you?
Oh, yeah.
Tim over there in Bradenton says, good evening, Peter. Good evening to you.
Yes. Yes.
Nicholas Kosamides. I'm going to call you the angry Greek. I hope you don't offend, because you seem like you're a little bit angry, and that's okay. I like the passion. Nothing against you. I have nicknames for everybody. So if you don't like the nickname, you want to come up with something else, I'll just call you Kosamides at this point. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. No more seeing Lavonte being burnt downfield in the Tampa 2. He lost not a step, but 2 steps last year. Evans and David frees up some money for youth, getting rid of some dead wood. Mike was responsible for 4 interceptions last year, had a lot of drop balls. I say draft a tight end from Oregon. Give him 13. Your sister single. I'm sending her a friend request. Thank you very much for the comments. She is single, but we're not playing Love Connection here on the Sports Web.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate you, though. Going back to it, drafting a tight end from Oregon, I get it. 4.39, 43 and a half vertical, strong. But tight end at 15, you got to go edge rusher. You got to go inside linebacker, even corner. If you want to, you could probably get a veteran corner at this point. I don't see a tight end at 15. Happy birthday, Chrissy. Thank you very much, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Brent. Let's get to football. We are going to get to football. You have 162 games at least. Wait until September to talk baseball. No, sir. There are Rays fans that tune into the show. We are definitely going to they're definitely going to want to talk Rays baseball. That's what we're going to do here. We're gonna mix it up. We're always gonna have Bucs football. You see all the Bucs stuff in the back, but you also see Tropicana. We also talk Tampa Bay Lightning hockey. I'm trying my best here to make sure this is not just a majority Bucs show, but for the life of me, a lot of Bucs fans, and I share this to a lot of Facebook Bucs sites. So if there's Rays fans out there who can suggest, some good Rays fan pages here that I could share the show to, love Rays fans. I'm a Rays fan myself. Loved them ever since their inception in 1998. I'm glad they got great new ownership there. We'll get that Brett Phillips interview on Facebook tomorrow on opening day. But we'll continue to talk, various sports when it comes to Tampa Bay sports here. What Mike has 4 touchdowns, barely played in 8 games. Frisco can have him. A lot of fans feel like that. Brent says, happy birthday to your sister. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Tim says, Lavonte for DC. Don't think that's going to happen. Although Todd Bowles had some comments that we'll get to in a moment about how much Lavonte meant to this team in the first place. And they are definitely what you would think if you're going to make somebody a player coach on the field, that was David. So big time hole to fill with this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. I get it. He wasn't the same guy. He also had a knee injury. So that may have contributed to that. But still a leader in that locker room, a player that still can make plays, still can play in this league. I just wonder when the talk is, and I get it, he wanted to be a father. He wants to walk away from this. They just revealed a new special or documentary from Buccaneers.com. I Am That Man, or I Am the Man, of Lavonte David. So they will show the whole story of Lavonte David in his Bucs career, which I know a lot of Bucs fans will be looking forward to seeing. Let's go out to Trevor. Trevor, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television on a happy edition, my friend. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing good, buddy. Doing good. It's opening day tomorrow. We're getting ready for baseball season. You've got the Bucs in their off season. You got the Lightning doing big things here. You got USF doing big things. So a plethora of sports to talk about on the Sports Web. But Trevor, I kind of know what you want to talk about. Your thoughts on Lavonte David and his retirement yesterday?
Well, I just want to give him his flowers. I've been a huge fan of Lavonte David. I didn't really know much about him coming out of Nebraska when we drafted him in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
But his play on the field was just so loud very early on his career. And, I'm just so grateful that I had the opportunity to watch his final game, in Raymond James. I was like in the front row actually. So I think that's pretty awesome that I got to, see him perform his last game at Raymond James. But I just, I was sad that he had to retire, but I also understood, I'm a father myself. And you saw how emotional he was at that presser when he was talking about how, he felt about his daughter. And
Logan, his little
family.
girl, 3 years old. I mean, your life is crazy sometimes, and things change and you get older and you evolve. We always talk about evolution, and Lavonte David is a Buck for life, but he wants to do different things. He wants to be a father, and I have no problem with that at all. No problem at all for him saying. A lot of people trying to make it, well, it's Todd Bowles and it's the direction of the team. It's not. He said clearly in the press conference. Now, who knows? Maybe there could be some other extenuating circumstances. I don't necessarily think so, because David came out in the offseason and clearly said if Todd Bowles wasn't the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he wouldn't have been a part of the organization. He would have retired. So there was still a thought process of him coming back for his 15th year. With all that being said, I think he's got his priorities in the right place. I'm not a father, But if I was, and you spent your majority of your life playing football and you wanted something different and new, and you want to devote that time to be a father, damn, we need more fathers out there. No matter what, we need, authority figures, male authority figures, women authority figures, mothers, fathers, families together. And when somebody's coming out and saying, I'm going to walk away from the money, I'm going to walk away from the career, I need to find myself because I want to be a father, I want to be Lavonte David the father, I have nothing but great things to say. He's got his priorities in the right place.
Yes, and now that you mentioned it, Peter, when you break it down about this whole Todd Bowles situation, when I hear people say that, it kind of pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it does is because you look beyond the game of football for once.
Mm-hmm.
Get your, for these idiots that's out here saying Todd Bowles, get your head out of your ass. This is a man, if you know Lavonte David's story, he lost his mom, 10 years ago?
That is correct.
And then he lost his father, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So his parents are gone. Do you not think that him being a father himself, maybe he's thinking, hey, I love football. I gave it 14 years. But you know what? I love my parents, and I want to be here for my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's beyond the game of football. And if you looked at that presser yesterday, you could clearly see it was beyond football for him. You know what I mean? He's given his heart and soul to the red and pewter for 14 years.
Yeah.
And he's done an excellent job. And I am like, it's bittersweet because obviously I don't ever want a player like Lavonte David to leave. But man to man, when we're talking with not X's and O's and no football, and that man just wants to be a father, he wants to be a family man, he wants to do things beyond football, because whether we all believe it or not, fans, players have lives outside of football, and they can't play football forever.
No. It's not Madden.
I mean?
It's not Madden. It's not where you can turn on the machine and you can have a guy that plays forever. And even then, they still have retirements. Guys get old. Father time is undefeated. For every Tom Brady, there's a curious case of, a player that stayed at the dance way too long. I look at Brett Favre, stayed at the dance a little bit too long. Aaron Rodgers the last couple of years stayed at the dance a little bit too long. It's their decision. But, and I think that's what also comes down to. I want to go out to these comments while you're on the phone. Todd Bowles had this to say about Lavonte David retiring yesterday. As a coach, he was my eyes and ears and heartbeat on and off the field. He would always ask me, what can we do better? What can I do? Who can I get going? How can I talk to people? And it went from a culture relationship to more of a collaboration, because he was very bright and he understood what I was trying to get done, but he understood what the team needed to get done as well and what guys needed it. And you can't replace that guy. I mean, it takes years of trust to build up. Like he said, when I first met him, we were going to a 3-4 and initially thought he was a weak side linebacker position. And it was an outside linebacker. He didn't know it. And it was really the other inside backer spot. And I kind of showed him and walked him through it. And after that first meeting, he was kind of excited. And I knew we kind of went from there. to lose somebody like this, I'm just happy he got to go out the way he wanted to go out, and you can't replace that. That is the biggest key. But right there, you hear Todd Bowles talk about him in a respective manner, how he was a player coach on the field. Is that leadership going to be able? Are you going to be able to get that leadership on the field again? I don't know. It's a tough loss, and the Bucs are going to have to figure this out and figure it out quick. And do I expect a young guy to come in here and be the Lavonte David, the next Lavonte David? No. But you know what? If you think about it, Trevor, Lavonte David, you think about linebackers, it's Hardy Nickerson, it's Derek Brooks. I mean, they have some great ones, but it's Derek Brooks. You have to live up to that standard. He was able to do that. So the next guy you have to draft has to live up to that Lavonte David standard. I mean, it happened with Gerald McCoy. Gerald McCoy had to live up to that Warren Sapp standard. And he was good, but he wasn't Warren Sapp, and fans held that against him. So that's also a tough transition. Think about that for a minute, that, Lavonte David had to live up to that Derek Brooks standard, and it's tough. It's tough to find those foundation pieces, but the Bucs and Jason Light, they're going to try. We'll see how it goes in the draft here in the next couple of weeks. What else, Trev?
I just want to say, I think we'll be fine as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Light definitely has his work cut out for him, because his playing time is right now, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eager to see what this draft is going to look like in the next month. So it's going to be interesting. I know for a fact now. I mean, I don't have any proof, but I'm just playing like from the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
It's either pass rusher or it's going to be inside linebacker.
It's got to be. I mean, I can't see you drafting tight end. Somebody said draft a tight end. I just can't see it. I just cannot see them drafting an offensive player.
Not in the first round. Absolutely not.
No.
We need defense, and maybe our team, we change the way we do things. Maybe we're going to be like a tough defense, run first team, play action team with the pieces that we no longer have. We have to change some things up now. And who knows, it might work out, so Bucs fans, I know like it's a lot of unknown right now, but hey, if we're diehard fans, we gotta ride this out. This is a new wave, a new generation of Bucs are coming into our building.
Yes,
and we have to embrace them, and we just got to look forward to it.
I was thinking about this the other day, right? Good stuff, Trevor. Appreciate it. I want to know if you remember this 2009. You remember the big veteran purge there, where they fire John Gruden, they hire Raheem Morris, they get rid of Warwick Dunn, they get rid of Derek Brooks, they get rid of all these veterans. I think it was Cato June at the time, and nobody has any good feelings, and the Bucs don't do well that year. I think, they had their one of their first wins, or Josh Freeman's first win, was against the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers at the time, and it wasn't a good season. And what I will say to Bucs fans is, you guys have been through worse, and if you haven't, I don't think this is worse. Again, I think there's a bad taste. And could it go south? It could absolutely go south. But there's still talent on this team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think the big time question is, can the defense do something? Can they get enough defensive talent to help that defense out, to improve that defense from last year, because they weren't very good? Trevor, appreciate the call. Use the second one if you want to, my friend. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good stuff there, Trevor. Right. So we'll continue to read comments, and then we'll go out to Alex, because I know he wants to talk some Rays baseball. Again, it's out there. How many wins do you think the Rays have? I think they have about 85, 86 wins. I agree with El Bushman. I think they're third wild card spot. I think they can definitely make a run, and I think it's because of Shane McClanahan, knock on wood. I think he's able to stay healthy, return to form. And that definitely helps the Rays pitching staff. So Rays fans, it's time for you to talk now. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Who do you think is gonna have a great year for this Tampa Bay Rays team? How many wins, over, under? What do you expect out of them? And then also, if you want to talk about Lavonte David and his retirement, feel free. Very confident with the youth movement. Okay, Nick, appreciate your Rays tickets tonight. Absolutely, Nick. Again, can we get that leg lengthening surgery for Baker so he can see over the O-line and the pockets? King Cook says Bucs aren't surprising anyone this season. Laugh out loud. Russ says draft corner second and third rounds. Mizzou DE first round. I know they have an official visit, according to our guy there, JC Allen, over on X. He's one of their formal official visits for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that would be Zion Young, I think it is. Zion Young, because I get him mixed up like Booger did when they interviewed him. But they did interview him. The only thing I would say is he's an interesting prospect, but his ceiling is high, but the production is not there. And I just don't know if that's a player seem like the Bucs are interested in, but I think you got to draft somebody who has more production. Let's go out to Cole, CSB brother. By the way, happy birthday to you. What's on your mind tonight, man? Welcome to the Evolution.
Thank you very much, sir. What's on my mind is Lavonte David. What this team has lost, the city has gained. The man is a quality father. Anyone who would turn down money to be a father is to be a father and this daughter. Dude, as a father myself, I commend the dude. Okay. And all this crap people are talking is stupid, because all you got to do is listen to that press conference, period.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all it is. And also with the Rays, look, I'm as big a fan as there is. I'm as big a fan as it comes, but I don't see us making it past maybe fourth in this division.
Okay.
I don't. Maybe we get to 500. But I don't see it going. I don't see it and it's not about the pitching staff. It's not. It's about the lineup. That lineup is so shallow. So shallow.
Well, they got rid of some players on this team. You know, Brandon Lau, Josh Lowe, of course. So you got to fill those. You already have injuries to Walls, who wasn't an offensive stick in the first place, more of a defensive guy. Lux, who they got from the Angels, I believe, for second base. He's already hurt. So Carson Williams has to step up being a starting shortstop. Can he do it? Can he show out? Junior Caminero, can he perform? Can he duplicate the numbers from last year? Will a trop affect him? We'll see. I think that's one exciting aspect of it. I think that's one of the biggest keys in that lineup. Johnny DeLuca, Chandler Simpson. We didn't talk about him in the outfield. Defensively, when he gets on the base pads, he can make things happen. The big time question
he
with
can
this Rays team,
make things happen.
It's always the biggest question with this Rays team, Cole, you would have to agree, is the fact, can they score enough runs? That's what it comes down to.
Yes, and I don't think that Junior's a player. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He should be the next guy to get the contract. I mean, like to do the Evan Longoria deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Grab somebody while they're young and get a long-term deal. Don't be scared off by the last one you got from some guy who's a goofball.
Yes.
Okay.
Agree.
And yes, I mean the talent was there, so I don't fault the Rays for making that call and all that. But I think Junior Caminero is a player. We saw that in the World Baseball Classic, but he has zero protection in that lineup. Yandy Diaz is in front of him. There's no protection in that lineup whatsoever.
Well, you got Chandler Simpson. Again, he'll be up in that lineup. You got some other players here. You're exactly right. There's big-time question marks, and that's what you watch. And you go, again, I would just caution Rays fans, don't lose your mind here when they're on the road if they get off to a slow start, because, again, baseball is a long season, although somebody mentioned it in the comments. You can't make the playoffs in those early months, but you could certainly be out of it if you get
they
off.
They can go 1-7, and I wouldn't be worried, honestly.
Right. I mean, this Rays team has been known to have slow starts before. They've also been known to have fast starts before and crumble. Last year, they had a moment there where they were the talk of baseball, and then whether it was the weather, whether it was the injuries, no matter what it was, it didn't work out after that. It was a disaster. And a lot of Rays fans, once again, like a lot of Bucs fans from last year, have a bad taste in their mouth. So
yeah, because it's the last thing we saw, and the last thing we saw for Buck fans was like 3rd and 28 or 4th and 14, and all you got to do is win one game. I mean, it's eerily similar.
Yes, very similar cases with both teams.
Let me ask you this, Peter, getting off of those two subjects.
Go for it.
What do you think about the USF hire?
I like it. He's a named coach. He's had success before. 2016 basketball coach of the year. That's a little ways back, but yeah, he's been able to win where he's at there. College of Charleston, couple years there of 20 wins. I like it. They'll have the NIL money. He's had success. He's proven. I don't necessarily think he's a coach that's going to be, he's not a young coach. So he's not looking at this program at this point as a stepping stone. So maybe they'll get more than 1 year out of him.
I hope so. I hope so, because honestly, I think that steak dinner we have, or that dinner bet we have, is pretty much in my favor, based on the last few years of seeing that. And I don't see our football coach making it 6 years, but honestly, the basketball coach might.
Well, the basketball coach might, and I think the football coach has more of a chance because you're going to have an on-campus stadium on top of it. There's going to be more money, and eventually I think USF will get into one of those big-time conferences, which will definitely change, that whole focus of USF being just a stepping stone at that place. At this place, it'll be more of a destination at that point. Cole, appreciate the call. Anything else here on the Sports Web, my friend, on a Wednesday night?
No, sir. Thank you much. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to your sister, and have a wonderful night.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Happy birthday to her. Thank you very much. Chrissy getting all the love. Hopefully she's tuning in. This show is for you. Let's see here. What am I getting? Okay, I don't know what that is. So we'll go back out to the comments. Bucs start surprising anyone this season. Russ, we mentioned that. The team quit on our coaches last year. What makes us think they won't do the same? I don't think they quit. I think that's a strong word. I don't think they quit. I think they were injured. Were they outcoached? I think you could definitely say they were outcoached. I think you could definitely say that they were in a situation where it wasn't there. The coaching wasn't there. And that's why they got rid of all the assistant coaches on the staff. They kept Todd Bowles. They're trying to bring some young energy to it to turn this around. To say the players quit, okay. Then if the players quit, that's the reason why Jamel Dean is not here anymore. That's the reason why Logan Hall's not here anymore. That's the reason why the Bucs did not bring back the majority of their free agents, because they said, you know what, we're going to go a younger route. We're going to go a more veteran route. We're going to go with players that want to be here. We're going to go with players that have the attitude, that love football. So those players are done. They let them go for a reason. That's why I'm mystified by some Bucs fans saying, well, the players quit on Todd Bowles, and then in the same breath you get upset because they let guys like Jamel Dean and Logan Hall go, and you were criticizing those players last year for quitting. I'm not saying those particular players were quitting, but I'm saying their free agents, their signal, if you will, was, you know what? We finished 8-9. We don't need these players back. They're not a part of our plans. Let them go. And people go, oh my God, they're getting rid of all these players. They're getting rid of the players that contributed to that 8-9 record. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. I'm sorry, but I'm tired of hearing about Mike Evans. He's gone. Move on. All right, Tim. Boy Wonder KR says, evening, Peter. Wishing your sister a blessed happy birthday. Wishing LVD the best on his retirement. See you in Canton 54 forever. Yes. You take a look at the numbers, because we'll go inside the numbers. I'm a numbers guy if I can find them right now, which is crazy. Lavonte David is one of the 5 players in the last 35 seasons with 40-plus sacks and 35 takeaways. The others, Jason Taylor, Junior Seau, Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher. Great company. Also, players with 1,000 tackles, 40-plus sacks, and 35 takeaways over the last 30 seasons. 30 seasons. History we're talking about. There's 3 players. Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis, Lavonte David. 3 in 30 years. I pause for drama effect. And there should be a pause there. 30 seasons, 3 players with 1,000 tackles, 40 sacks, 35 takeaways over the last 30 seasons. A partridge in a pear tree. With, by the way, 177 tackles for loss. And he's not a defensive end. He's a linebacker. He's an off-the-ball linebacker. People say, well, he only made 1 Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is a joke. It is a joke. A complete and total sham and a joke. Let me tell you something. Lavonte David may be one of the most underrated players in NFL history, with the consistency, with the leadership. And I'm not just saying it because the guy gave me 13 minutes. Although when you're told you're going to only get about 5 to 7 minutes on an interview and he gives you 13 and he's as cool as hell as Lavonte was. And it was a great interview, even though the internet completely sucked on it. Sorry about that. But it was a great interview. And you got an opportunity to talk to him. I definitely think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he definitely is one of the most underrated players in NFL history. And the only reason why we're not talking about him being in that same breath as those players is because the Bucs were not winning at the time. He was in those dark times. You know, we've all been through them together, those dark times when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Thank you for tuning in. Peter, shout out from Louisiana. Gerald, appreciate it. I got a person who is in Wisconsin who's a Bucs fan. I got somebody who's in Louisiana who's a Bucs fan. I believe I know who that is. Is that Gerald J. Soner? Is that who that is? I think that is. Let's go out to the tribal troll.
Acknowledge me.
Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television on a happy hump day, my friend. How you doing?
That's right. Acknowledge me.
I will acknowledge you. Acknowledge the fact that Lavonte David is right up there with your boy Urlacher and your boy Lewis, as in both of those guys are Hall of Famers. Lavonte David, you need to acknowledge him because he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer in my book.
Well, I think he has the numbers. You totally understand. I'm partial to Brian Urlacher.
Okay, but he has the same numbers. He has comparable numbers to Brian Urlacher. If you have comparable numbers to Brian Urlacher, and Urlacher is a Hall of Famer, do you not think Lavonte David is a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
There you go. There it is, right there.
But
that's it.
Will he be a first ballot or second or third?
Who knows?
What do you think?
Who knows?
I mean, the media gives the Tampa Bay market no props at all.
They don't. But you know what helped? Tom
So
Brady.
do you
coming to
think
the
that
area.
will hurt his chances of being a first ballot?
It shouldn't, but it probably will. It'll probably be overlooked like he always has. But as long as he makes the Hall of Fame, I think he should be first ballot. With these type of numbers, with his level of consistency,
If you're putting him in the same category as Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher, there's no way in hell he should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
that's what the numbers say. Jason Taylor Jr. say Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, numbers don't lie. You could sit there and say all day long.
You know, the media controls who gets in and who doesn't.
Well,
it's just like with the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's the writers.
I mean, Bill Belichick.
It's garbage.
Bill Belichick should be a first ballot Hall of Famer as a
Of
coach.
course.
And the reason why he's not in is because he rubs some media people the wrong way, and because there's a cheating scandal out there.
That's why they should get rid of the media and the writers voting on the Hall of Fame. I think it should be done by the players.
Now, I don't know if it's going to be done by the players, but they got to definitely come up with something different. If again, Bill Belichick is not first ballot Hall of Fame, I don't know what the whole
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. All right, what else?
What do you think the record for the Rays is going to be?
Over 85 wins. I go 85, 86 wins for the Tampa Bay Rays. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm thinking 80, 85.
Okay.
Yeah, right around there.
All right. I like
maybe a wild card.
Yeah, I like the wild card. I think they can definitely get into that. I think they can surprise some people.
What about your Chicago Cubs?
Playoffs
again this year, one and done.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't really watch the Cubs that much. So you got to be my Cubs insider on this show. That's your job. You got to be a Cubs. I watch the Rays, man. I'll try to watch it. I can't watch the Cubs that are not on GN with Harry Carey and Steve Stone.
I know.
I can't.
Those are the glory days. We gotta convert the Greek.
To what, a Cubs fan? Good luck with
that.
that.
Absolutely.
Good luck with that.
But I know it'll never happen.
It's never going to happen. You're out of your mind.
Never, ever in a million years. He'll go to his grave in a freaking Sox jersey. It kills me.
I'll eat coleslaw from KFC, which I did today because they gave me a double coleslaw instead of double mashed potatoes with the country.
Oh, by the way, hell no.
I actually was good. I'll do more of eating vegetables than Harry would ever switch to being a Cubs fan. I know that for a fact.
I'm shocked that you actually ate that. I
did.
wouldn't. I hate
bad.
coleslaw.
It wasn't bad, man. It was not bad. I think my taste buds have changed over the years here. It was not bad.
I would definitely go with your pig, double mashed potatoes and gravy. Hell yeah.
Yep. Country fried steak, $5 at KFC. By the way, KFC is not a.
I don't know how long they're going to keep that going.
I hope so. I hope they continue to keep it going. I love it.
I think they should. I think just keep it on the menu, but when they do that, it's going to go up in price.
I mean, again, it's pretty good country fried steak. I'm not going to lie to you. So
that's one of my favorite foods ever.
Well, there you go. There you go. All right. What else, my friend?
All right. So one last thing.
Yes.
Do you think the Bucs win the NFC South and advance to the playoffs? Or do you think it's, again, just winning the NFC South and that's it?
Well, they didn't even win in the NFC South. You got to give me some time on this. I got to look at the whole team, where it's at this point. I don't even know if I'm going to make a prediction this year, to tell you the truth, when it comes to the Bucs, because I'm afraid to.
Smart move.
I'm afraid to set all this up and then everybody just kind of well, you said this and you said that and you said this. I'm just like, maybe I'm the eternal optimist here, but I got to see.
Totally understand.
I got to see some.
So one last thing. Have you looked up anything about setting up the merch store for the Sports Web?
I've not, but we definitely need to work on that. You're my guy on that.
All right, we'll work on that and we'll get it set up for the web heads.
We got shirts coming.
They need Sports Web merch.
I got to work on getting everybody's shirts. I got to work on getting I guess we're gonna sell these polos, and then the other shirts with my face on the back. We're gonna try to sell those too. So we're gonna sell it all.
We're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. Shirts, mugs, tumblers,
yes,
hoodies. Yeah, we'll do it all, bro.
Give to the Peter Blake Fund, because a Peter is a terrible thing to waste. There you go.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. On that note, I'll see you later. Is that great or what? Yes, I did spring that joke. Thank you. I'll be here all week. It's true, though. Peter Blake is a terrible thing to waste. Let's see. Russ, Roseboom, and Anzalone are beasts at linebacker. Brent, he's 36 years old. He can't play football forever. Good job to Lavonte David. Time to move on. Okay. Russ says, was that caller drunk? I don't know if he was. It's okay if you call in drunk. Some people call into the show high drunk. It's okay. As long as you call in to the evolution of sports talk television. Our biggest rest, or our biggest need, I think he's saying corners. Morrison needs to step up. Otherwise, you fire Bowles for making light reach. It's on the coaching. It's definitely on the coach. I'm not ready to call Morrison a bust. I think a lot of people looked at, a small sample size. And when you drafted Morrison, he was a top 10, he could have been a top 15 pick if he can stay healthy. He didn't have those hip problems. Did not look good in his time. He looked good early against the Philadelphia Eagles, but after that against Buffalo, didn't look very good. He's going to get an opportunity. And they're going to still address that cornerback situation. I do believe that Jason Light has shown that. I'm not ready to say it's a reach yet. Baker is not the face of the franchise, in my opinion. Who is? We'll throw that out there. Who is the face of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now? Dude calling in drank too much vodka. King Cook says, no Baker talk tonight, please. I got Baker fatigue. Laugh out loud. Well, we're talking Baker tonight. We got some comments about Baker. Who's taking Gene's place? Announcer, don't know. Hasn't been announced yet. But when we do have it, we will get you the latest on that.
Oh, yeah.
Raina's laughing. Good. I'm glad you're having a good time, Raina. Russ throwing up a drink there. Appreciate it. King Cook, we are in need to trade. We need to trade Vita while we can to stock up draft picks. It's about Light and his picks right now. They're not going to trade Vita Vea. That doesn't make any sense, especially if you're still trying to win this division. You're not better without Vita Vea. Your defense does not get better without Vita Vea. I'm sorry. It does not. I get it. He's getting up there in age. I get it. He's got value. You're not getting better with Vita Vea off that defensive line. Oscar says, all right, we'll get back to the comments in just a moment. Let's go out to Corey. Corey, welcome to the Evolution.
Peter, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Your thoughts on Lavonte David retiring? Go, my friend, go.
Yeah, man. I be trying to figure out, like, I guess it was something back then. A lot of them down south, like by Miami boy, were going way to Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was trying to figure out what that was the thing going on, what that was about.
Well, he's from Miami originally. And then he went to
but
Nebraska.
a lot of Miami, like down that played ball down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were going to Nebraska. Like I guess Nebraska was recruiting them to come up to Nebraska.
Well, I think Lavonte David is a part of that, maybe, or after it. I don't know who was recruiting at that time, but they got a lot of good football players. Lavonte David being included, and of course, we know the pipeline there. That Jason Light is a big time Nebraska fan, so he knew about Lavonte David, and he knows about that program. So
yeah.
What
the name of that quarterback? That man, he was bad, man. He could run forever, man.
It's Tommy. When he was from Bradenton Southeast, Tommy Frazier. Yes, Tommy Frazier. Yeah. Yes, a nightmare for a lot of Florida State fans. Although they were able to beat Nebraska, and Tom Osborne, Dr. Tom Osborne. Yes,
right.
93. I remember it.
Yeah, man. Lavonte, man. I mean, man, he made everybody's job around him easier, man. When he played, and he was just, he was just like a quarterback for the defense, man.
Right,
Give him his flowers.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Were you surprised that he retired?
I ain't want him to retire because I feel like we're in a pickle right now.
Well, we're definitely in some type of pickle at this point. I don't know what kind of pickle it is. I mean, I'm curious to see what they do at this linebacking situation. I know Anzalone is one. Savasi Dennis is going to compete. He was awful when it comes to coverage. This guy Roseboom, he's not great in coverage either. He's a great tackler. So I don't know.
He's more like a depth piece.
Well, he's a depth piece, special teams. I think maybe he'll get an opportunity to start. He'll compete, and then whoever they draft, a young guy, maybe it's Jacob Rodriguez. Maybe he assumes the role as being the new heir apparent, if you will, to Lavonte David, and that he has that characteristic that David possesses, where he's always around the ball. He's always causing turnovers. Rodriguez would be my guy, and plus he's been a quarterback, so he's a converted quarterback on the offense. Now you get him to be your quarterback on the defense. He thrived with Texas Tech. I like that pick. I love Sonny Styles. I just don't think it's realistic, Bucs fans, that he's going to fall to 15 unless the Bucs get aggressive.
Trade all the way
exactly.
up.
Exactly.
We don't got enough draft capital for that.
No.
Nope. But what Rodriguez? He got like a second round grade.
Rodriguez, second round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think it's more athleticism than anything else. And again, you get wrapped up into all these athletic traits and the RAS score and all that other stuff, but you got to turn on the tape and see what Rodriguez does in those big time games, what he did for Texas Tech all year long, how he calls turnovers, how he was the defensive leader of that team. That's what you got to look at. Those are the type of traits that Jason Light is searching for, and your hope that he can be the foundation piece for this new Bucs defense in 2026.
Right. Because ain't nobody out there. Ain't no kind of free agents out there right now.
No, definitely not.
God Almighty, man. So let me ask you. So in they said the Cowboys offered on the Raiders 3 trade deals and they refused them. So
refused them. Yeah. I don't think Crosby's out there for trade, guys. I hate to burst their bubble. I'm a Crosby guy. I say trade for him, but I just don't think it's out there. And then if you're asking for 2 first-round picks, I'm not sure the Bucs are there with that. And I think also
I know they ain't there with that. Not with Light.
For a player that's injured already, he's had some injury history there. There's some injury history. There's some injury now. It's a risky proposition at this point. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I think Crosby stays with the Raiders.
I think they kind of blowing that knee thing out of proportion. With the Ravens just want to take the cheaper way and get the free agent, not have to give up their picks.
Well,
I think Crosby a bad man. You know what I mean?
I do too. I think the Ravens knew they were trying to get out of it. They figured out a way to get out of it. They got Trey Hendrickson, who was still out there. I know the Bucs were in on that. They just didn't offer him a big time deal. They didn't offer him a 4-year deal. It was most likely a 2-year deal. And Hendrickson wanted the security. Wants the 4 years.
Right. He want that money. He want that payday.
Want the payday. Want the security. Want the payday. That's what all the free agents want. So.
Yeah. But man, but this other thing with Mike, man. I mean, this is my theory. You know what I mean? I think Mike seen what Tom did, and he want to try to do what Tom did, man.
That's certainly possible. My friend. Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, it ain't. I mean, it ain't nothing you can do with, man. I mean, the Bucs, they offer the man more money. Hey, he wanted to go. He wanted to go. You know?
No, well, I mean, again, he wanted to see something different at this point. Man, Corey, appreciate the call. Use a second one if you want to, my friend. All right.
All right, Peter.
All right, good stuff. Let's go out to Ed. Ed, welcome to the Evolution.
Hey, what's going on, Peter?
What's going on, buddy? What do you think about Lavonte David retiring at this point?
It's a sad offseason. We lost Mike Evans. Now we're losing Lavonte David. That's all I can say about it. It's just very sad.
End of an era, my
you
friend.
know, these things happen. It's
They
part
do.
of football.
Yep, it's a business of football, my friends. Business
Yep.
of being a Tampa Bay sports fan at this point. Yes.
Yeah, it's a very sad time for us. I don't know what they're going to do about this defense because it just got worse. You know, it needs a lot of work, and I'm not sure they're going to get it done in one off season. So
it may be tough. It may definitely be tough. It's a tough ask
Yeah.
at this point. We'll see what kind of moves they make and if this defense can be improved. And if it can't, then we're gonna have some big time problems.
yeah, I think we're looking for a new coach if it's another bad year
Well,
for the
it's
defense. But,
definitely certainly a possibility.
yeah, I mean, would you be okay with that if that occurred? If we have a bad year next year on the defense?
Again, if you have a bad year in defense and you don't win the NFC South, which you're expected to win, and you don't show any improvement over last year, yeah, I definitely think I would be good with it at that point. And it's setting up that way. That's what it's setting up to when you have all these 1-year contracts. If it doesn't turn out good, then you're going to let all these guys go. You're going to cut cap. You're going to start over again. You're going to have a hard reset. You may not even have a quarterback here. You may have a rookie quarterback, and it's going to be tough for Bucs fans if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, because I think this might be Baker's last year.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
He's a free agent after this year, so
it's absolutely you're absolutely correct about that. We'll get to Baker Mayfield and the report that came out yesterday about the Bucs possibly negotiating an extension with Baker Mayfield in his camp.
I think that's a good idea. I would, if anything, I would go ahead and get that done now, not wait till the end of the season.
Well, there's certainly a possibility that the Bucs could do that, but once again, the Bucs do hold all the cards. They can franchise Baker Mayfield 3 times if they want to, but again, that's a big if. If Baker Mayfield again regresses, doesn't play well, then again the Bucs may cut their losses and move on to a younger quarterback. We'll see in the draft.
Right.
What else, Ed?
Chuck Norris died.
I know. How about that, huh? Chuck Norris died.
Yeah, I mean, I know you don't talk about that. Well, you do wrestling, but you don't do kickboxing.
I mean, I remember Chuck Norris. I remember him doing missing in action, which is what the defense was last year. I remember that. I remember the Bucs fans.
You're cheering me up now.
The Bucs fans need the Delta Force of defense at this point that Chuck Norris started. They need Chuck Norris from Dodgeball to be the.
I met Chuck Norris, by the way.
You did?
At a martial arts convention.
How was that?
Well, you know, I take this unknown martial arts that nobody knows what it is called Defendo Combatives, which is an MMA thing.
Very cool.
And we all went to a convention and we met Chuck Norris in Orlando. Actually, it was like 10 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, he's really a good guy.
Good stuff, man.
Really good guy. Very humble. Very good. You wouldn't know that he was a deadly man by talking to him.
He was definitely a deadly man, that's for sure.
Yes, that's for sure.
Don't mess with Chuck Norris.
All right, my man. I guess I don't have really much else to talk about right now. I mean, they made some moves this week, and I'm not feeling good about any of them. I mean, you got a guy that can tackle. I guess that's good. Well, shoot, when you make it to the pros, if you don't know how to tackle.
Well, he can't cover. He can't cover. So the coverage skills are not great.
I know.
So
I don't know why you make that move.
Well,
I don't
you
get
make
it.
the move for depth. You make the move for competition. You make the move to try to improve that linebacking room, and then again, special teams. You know, if he comes in and helps special teams out, it's not a bad thing. We'll see how it all plays out, my friend. Appreciate the call as always. All right.
All right, man.
All right.
Take it easy.
Yeah,
Have a good night.
Yep. See ya. He thought, he got me on Chuck Norris. He didn't think I knew the movies of Chuck Norris. Now, come on, bro. What's up, Peter? I think we have a decent offense, but all of our major issues are on the D. we should go edge first and then corners. What are your thoughts? Definitely think they can go edge, go inside linebacker in second. Third day, you could go corners. You could definitely do that. Could trade down. Go Yankees, says King Cook. Good question, Oscar. Appreciate it. So you use the injury excuse for baseball too. Tampa fans love the injury excuse. Not an excuse. Chris Cole says Yankees leading the Giants 5-0 in the fifth inning on Netflix. There you go. Sarah, we met him at FanFest. Very nice guy. Very cool. Thank you very much. King Cook, Chris, exactly setting the tempo for this Major League Baseball season. You know I'm right. Shut up. This is more than a football channel. Thank you. You know I'm right. It is. It's a long season. It is. Sarah says, cool thing is that the 311 made their band t-shirt for Reggae Rise Up, a Rays jersey. We definitely bought that. It's an awesome Raise Up. Love that. Love a little 311 too. Great stuff. You know it's true. The Rays can lose. Every team can lose. It's a long season, as you said, Brent. Every team can lose. What does that mean? The Rays can lose 20 games in a row and still make the playoffs. Let's go out to Jim.
Damn it, Jim. What the hell is the matter with you?
From OHIO. Jim, what's on your mind tonight? Welcome to the Evolution.
What's up?
What's up, man?
I want to answer your question. Face of the franchise.
Yes, face of the franchise.
Yeah, right now.
Yes, who's the face of the franchise in your opinion?
Vita Vea.
Vita Vea?
Yeah, Vea.
Why Vita Vea?
Yeah, best defensive player right now.
Well, I'd say Baker Mayfield's the face. I think you could throw Chris Godwin's out there as the face. As crazy as it sounds,
offensive players. Hold on, man. Hold on. Baker ain't even been here long enough to be facing nothing.
Why can't he be the face of the franchise? You know, they're talking about extending him.
Been hurt too much.
I'm about to break the internet with this news. I don't know if you heard this yesterday.
Mike Evans left and Lavonte David, and you talking about Godwin and Baker Mayfield? Come on, dog.
Yeah, come on, dog. Yeah, dog. I'm talking about Baker Mayfield, the quarterback of this team.
Vita Vea.
Vita Vea. All right, Vita Vea is the franchise. You like the big guys. We know this.
Yeah, I am a little biased.
You're a big guy. Well, that's okay. It's all right. You know, we need the big guys in the middle.
But so who you want? You want Baker Mayfield?
I want Baker Mayfield to be the face of the franchise. I want to be the quarterback of this team going forward. I got a bad taste in my mouth. I got BTSD. That's Buck traumatic stress disorder. When anybody talks about drafting a franchise young quarterback, which has never come to that door since Doug Williams.
Right.
I believe in Jason Light. I believe in the organization, but the Bucs have never gotten that right. So I got some doubts. I know you don't stop doing it, but it's also the highest bust rate. I'd rather go with what you know than what you don't. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? Antoine Winfield Jr. been tearing it up, but I don't think he's been around long enough to be the face.
Well, he could definitely be the face of this franchise. He has to return to form. Injuries the last couple of years. Yes, I know, Brent, you're going to say it's an excuse, but it's definitely hurt his play. He hasn't been, I don't think he's been the same player as he was in 2023.
So how many sacks did Vita Vea get last year?
What do you have? What do you have? 4 sacks, 4.5 sacks last year, or 5
Oh, the
sacks
year?
for Vita Vea? Yeah, Vea is not a sack guy. I mean, let's see here. How many? He had 4.5 sacks last year. It was right. He had the year before
What
he had
about
7.
tackles? He get a bunch of tackles, man.
He had quick math here, making me do math. I think it's 34 tackles total, 34 tackles and 4.5 sacks. There you go.
All right, stopping at running back.
Yeah, there you go. Stopping the running back,
34
filling the holes.
tackles. I'll take that.
I'll take more than that. I'd like to have a lot more push from Vita Vea. And if you get that push and you got Kalijah Kancey, who is the key to this line, no matter who you draft, he's still the key. Kalijah Kancey can stay healthy. This line is different. They can definitely get pressure. The energy is there. He's got to stay healthy being Kancey. What else?
Man, you didn't talk to old Tampa Bay Ray today. He was on here boo-hooing on his own little podcast.
Who was?
Tampa Bay Ray.
What was he doing? What was he saying?
I don't know. You talking about the Rays. Could have got him in here talking about the Rays a little bit.
We did. We talked about the Rays with Bushman. I don't know where everybody's at. I know Harry's out tonight. He's God bless him. Prayers out to him and his mother. His mother is not doing too well, so Harry's taking a little time off. Again, priorities when it comes to family and what the sports web is all about. I got this ship. I'm not taking it down by any means. I got it.
Well, happy birthday to your sister.
Thank you.
Hopefully Harry, the Greek family, get healthy.
Yes.
And, man, I love your show, man. I'm keep listening.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you as always.
All right.
Keep on listening. You're the reason why we do the show here on Wednesday night. Be easy for me to just take off. I came home, took my nap. Tired, man. I'm burning it at both ends. I'm not lying to you. Like every day, it's Bucs Latest on the Fan Arch Network. I'm doing that show. You know me. I'm a perfectionist. Take after take, making sure the show is great. 10 to 15 minutes. You're doing that. You're working at Smart Financial during the day, doing insurance, and you're doing this 2 days a week. And you're trying to and then do Uber also. You're trying to have all these things, work and get guests and do this and produce this and make sure that people are getting enough content during the week when the sports web isn't on. Let's go out to Sun Devil Dave. What do we say, my friend? What do we say, my friend?
Peter?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine, buddy. What's up?
I'm sorry. I'm over playing football. I just wanted to check in, bring that up. Happy hump day. Just want to say Lavonte David was an amazing career. Going to be Ring of Honor for it. Just wanted to add that NFL's going to start on a Wednesday night this year. Yeah, it's going to open on a Wednesday night.
Yes, that is correct. In Australia, the Rams versus the 49ers. Yes, you're correct about that.
Big baseball. I think the Giants.
You know what? Sun Devil, I can't really hear you that well now. I don't know what's going on, buddy.
I just wanted to say hi. Okay.
All right, man. I appreciate you as always. I couldn't hear him there. I know Curtis was trying to call in. So, Curtis, if you want to call back in, you can go ahead and do that. So, yes, the Rays could do that. I'm sure game will be on at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. Hold on. I guess. Hold on a sec here. I tell you what, we'll go ahead and hold off on that. I want to make sure we get this guy on here before he goes to bed. Let's go out to him. Hold on. Stand by, Curtis. Hold on a sec. Let me see if I can get this guy on here before he goes to bed. Because I know he wants to give away some tickets, and I want to give away some
sorry, the person you were trying to reach.
Well, he went to voicemail here, so I don't know. We're going to give some away some tickets. We got to figure this out. So
I'm sorry, the person.
Okay, so he's not there. Let's go out to Curtis. Then let's see.
Yellow.
Curtis, what's up? Welcome back to the Evolution.
Brother, I feel like crying, man.
I know you're one of those emotional Bucs fans at this point, dude.
Well, you also know I'm a huge Nebraska fan, and just watching Lavonte David, man, it's just. I tell you what, man. For my Bucs fans, you thought Mike Evans hurt. Lavonte David hurt just as much because this is another guy. Didn't complain. He didn't bitch. He didn't do any of those things. He went out there and he played football.
Agree.
And you don't get guys as humble as he is and put up the numbers that he's put up.
Right.
And that doesn't go out there and it's not a diva like some of these other players out here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this. I know Bobby Wagner and Fred Warner and those guys get all the recognition, but just look at the numbers of Lavonte David.
Yeah.
This guy went in the second round, man.
Yeah, second round pick. Great value.
Nobody expected this guy.
Great pick by Mark Dominic, by the way. Jason Line doesn't get credit for that one. Mark Dominic does.
Yeah.
The much maligned GM, but he got that one right. Definitely got that one right.
Nobody expected this guy to be what he was. And we all remember the greatness of Devin White, but him and Devin White together for that year or two, they were terrifying.
They were.
Terrifying.
Big reason why the defense was really good that year was because of Lavonte David and Devin White. So
absolutely, and to be even mentioned in the same air as Derek Brooks and Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher. I'm sorry, but if this guy is not a first balloter just off the stats alone,
correct.
What are we doing?
Well, I don't know what we're doing because when Bill Belichick doesn't get in first time, I kind of doubt what the Hall of Fame process is. I got to get
but you know what? Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say this about the Belichick thing.
Sure.
And Pete, we're football fans again. We're football fans. We're definitely Bucs fans, but we're football fans.
Yeah.
And all the accusations against Belichick and the Patriots over all those years, they were going to get them somewhere.
Sure.
And do you think they're going to do Brady like that? No. I don't think they're going to do Brady like that. I don't think they're going to do Gronkowski like that. I mean, here's the thing. Belichick is going to definitely get in. But I feel like him not getting in on the first ballot is just their way of sticking it to him.
Yeah.
Like and here's the thing. You say what you want about Belichick. He stuck it to the league for years.
Right.
He was literally, God rest his soul, Al Davis all over again.
Yeah.
He did it his way, and he was unapologetic about it.
Easy for you to say, but yes.
And he didn't care what anybody said.
That's it. You didn't.
So, but that's a Lavonte David, man. I wish him well. Definitely a cornerstone for this, not defense, for the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people don't understand, And I remember I saw the interview of him when he said Tom Brady came to the team, and Tom Brady called him, and he just talked to him for a while, and he was just flabbergasted that Tom Brady even knew who he was. But I'm pretty sure if you talk to a lot of people in the NFL, Lavonte David was probably one of the most well-respected linebackers across the NFL, man. So,
Agree. Baker Mayfield had this to say yesterday on his IG, which I thought was really interesting. He said, "Thank you, LD, for being an incredible leader and presence in my life. Got to watch and respect your game from afar for years. Then when I got to Tampa, I quickly realized you're an even better man than the Hall of Fame player you have been for 14 years. Hell of a career. Blessed to call you a friend. Always in your corner, old man." That was from Baker Mayfield.
Now, speaking of Baker Mayfield.
Yes, we're going to get to this story too.
For my Buccaneers fans, for y'all to think that this man is not what we need, especially right now. He's definitely the face of the franchise right now.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the face, because the toughness, the grit, the fireness. This is what you need right now. Because guess what? We don't know the direction of the team right now. But also, and I meant to say this to you guys Monday night, Peter, and Peter knows this. Every time they count the Bucs out, every time they talk about us being last in the division, what happens? Every single time.
They have a chip on their shoulder, and Baker has a chip on his shoulder, and they surprise everybody.
And just like you said the other day, and Peter said this Monday night, the guys that we picked up in free agency, they might not be the big splash names, but these guys have chips on their shoulders.
Yes, they do.
And they're professionals for a reason.
Well, there is. I love A'Shawn Robinson. How do you not love A'Shawn Robinson talking about when he was a kid, how he got made fun of, and how he kicks everybody's ass now? I love that. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate on the field, but I got to love that. I love the attitude.
And I believe that this year more than ever, Todd Bowles and Jason Light, they're looking for dogs in the draft. They're not looking to be flashy. They're not looking to be pretty. They're not looking for any of that. They're looking for guys that are going to go out there and compete.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like Peter just said, guys,
that's what we love about Kalijah Canty. When he's available and he's healthy, this guy competes.
Yeah.
He puts his hand down and he puts his hand down in the dirt, and he's coming after you. And him and Vita together on that defensive line, they could be terrifying if we get one full season of them together.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
but
Curtis.
other than that, Pete, man, I mean, just again, man, shout out to Lavonte, man. I'm glad he walked away on his own.
Let me ask you something. Have you subscribed to Bucs Latest? Because this is the test for Bucs fans. Have you subscribed to Bucs Latest on the Fan Arch Network on YouTube? Have you subscribed to Bucs Latest?
I have, yes.
You have. What do you think of that new show? It's pretty good.
I love it.
All right, man.
I love it because I don't have to go looking for my Bucs information.
There you go.
Because I get tired of the disrespect from the NFL Network, ESPN. You know, like I get tired of hearing about the Cowboys all the time. I get tired of hearing about San Fran all the time. I get tired of hearing about Kansas. I don't care about that. And I understand they're the big, shiny, pretty things, but there's more teams in the NFL than just those handful of teams.
I agree. Completely agree.
So shout out to Peter and for bringing us his information. And let's go Bucs, man. I don't give a damn about anything else right now.
Yeah.
Let's go Bucs, baby.
Let's go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
All right, Curtis, appreciate the call as always.
It's exciting.
By the way, I don't know if I put this out there. Todd Bowles watch March 25th. By the way, my sister's birthday, 2026. Todd Bowles is still your head coach.
We got the job, baby.
He is.
Fire the curtain.
Sorry to
How about them Bucs, baby?
burst your bubble. All right, so we're looking for Alex here, trying to get him on. We'll see if we can get him on. We want to give away some tickets here locally. Cook, I know, bro, but the season's long for me. Chris Cole, Giants are hot garbage. Sun Devil Dave, we will see. David in the Bucs Ring of Honor. Brent, the fight anymore in baseball. You can't run over the catcher anymore. King Cook, they don't fight in the NBA anymore, but we still watch. They don't fight for anything in the NBA. They injury load. Anytime they do fight, they miss punches. It's never a fight. They don't fight anymore. They never fought. You can't make the playoffs in April or May, but you can lose it. Brent says, Cook, I used to love basketball, but it got soft for me, bro. Brent, again, I missed the hand check. The defense in the NBA, too many three-pointers. NBA is boring. King Cook, I'm not sold on Oregon players in general, period. They never translate to the league. No more drafting tight ends. All right, let's go out to this guy. He's giving away tickets tonight for the Rays. That's his big intro. I don't know how we're going to do this. You know, this is kind of a thing.
I have an idea of how we'll do this, but
throw it out there.
Let's talk some quick Tampa Bay sports real quick.
Okay.
We're going to talk all three in 10 minutes.
Can
we do it?
Go for it.
We can do it. All right, let's talk about the Bucs real quick.
Yeah.
First of all, hats off to number 54. Listen, if you put him and Derek Brooks next to each other, you're going to see Lavonte David, a Buccaneer first ring ballot. The next vote coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I'm going to say this. I know how the Hall of Fame works for the NFL, and I think kind of like Rondé Barber, he's going to have to wait if he gets in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how all that works. Just like a couple people said earlier tonight, it's all about the media and what they do, and I agree with that. But what Lavonte David has meant to this organization, this community, I mean, you kind of felt everything in 14 years all in one story by the way he went out on the podium the other day. Emotional. If you really love number 54, you were kind of like me, and you shed some tears. So number 54, man, I love you, bro. And I do think if I'm number 54, he talked about at the end of his speech how he's going to kind of take some time with his daughter. You know, he talked all about how much his daughter meant to him, which, of course, it just goes to show you how much Lavonte David loves his family, his community, his teammates, and what he's meant to this organization is nothing short of amazing. But listen, he's going to be a Buccaneer Ring of Honor at minimum, and I don't want to see Lavonte David leave. I think he's going to do something with the Buccaneers in the long term. Maybe he comes back and coaches the defense or something long term. Maybe he can scout. I don't know. Just be a linebackers coach. I don't know who's coaching the linebackers right now, but down the road, if Lavonte David's available, call that man up and make him, on this coaching staff. But listen, I love number 54. But I do want to say this about the Bucs, and then I'm going to really quick go to the Lightning and then the Rays. I just think that we are seriously entering a rebuild mode. I know you don't like to hear that, but I mean, you just lost your you lost Mike Evans, who leads your offense. You lost Lavonte David, who leads your defense. That's two tough spots to fill. I think on the offense, you're going to see Emeka Egbuka step up a little bit, maybe a year or two down the road. Maybe he seemed to me, even though he was in his rookie year, maybe he seems like a leader down the road. To give him a year or two, I think he'll kind of either perform or kind of like Mike Evans. I know he's not going to be Mike Evans, but he kind of resembled Mike Evans a little bit to me. Just by his heart on the field and what he means to the teammates. So maybe down the road, you'll see Emeka Egbuka step up for the offense and what we missed in Mike Evans. So talking about Mike Evans just real quick, I love him, but Bucs fans, time to move on. I love what number 13 did for this organization, this community, but, I wish him well. I'll rep number 13. I may not cheer for San Francisco, but I do hope that Mike Evans continues to get his yards because, in my opinion, he deserves it. So,
well, we got some breaking news. We're going to have Rob Rashoot, of course, Shooter himself, and I believe it's Schooley there from We the Thunder. They're going to come on for 10 minutes here. They're going to give us a Lightning update. So you're going to get your wish to talk some Lightning hockey tonight, Lightning fans. So there you go. That's coming up here in just a little bit.
I was getting ready to talk about them real quick. Hey, listen, big win last night against Minnesota.
Yep.
Listen, they went down 2-0, I think it was, in the first period. Just gave up some unlucky goals. I think one of the goals that they gave up, I think it ricocheted off Hagel or something like that. But they went down 2-0 very quick. They stormed back. Great hockey. They played that literally felt like a playoff hockey game. Literally a much-needed win for the Bolts. If you're a Bolts fan, you do know that every point counts right now. I'm pretty sure it's only 6 to 10 points that would define whether the Bolts make the playoffs or not, because these points and these teams are very, close, which I'm sure they're going to talk about that here in a minute. But, listen, great win by the Bolts and what they're doing. Sad to hear about Victor Hedman. It was announced that Victor Hedman is taking some time of leave, and maybe you can ask them about what's going on with that. Maybe they have an opinion.
Yes,
but,
we're about
I
to.
don't know if
yes,
I don't know if they're listening yet, but I will say this:
they are listening. They're in the back right now, getting ready to go out to those guys.
I don't know if they are listening, but if they can actually still hear me. But I just didn't agree with maybe putting Hedman as our captain. I just didn't see him ready for that position, in my opinion. I know he's the oldest tenured. I believe he's the oldest tenured Lightning player right now, but I was just not happy with that move. But listen, I'll stop talking about the Bolts. You want to talk about the Rays real quick before I get out of here?
Well, we're gonna get these guys. I want to get these guys on here, but do you want to give away these tickets now, or do we want to save this for next week and give them an incentive? Because I want to plan this out. But do you want to give these tickets away? What do you want to do to give these tickets away?
You want to do them on Monday?
I think we should do it on Monday. I think we should plan this out a little bit better.
Because they're in the background. Hey, just real quick about the Rays real quick.
How many wins?
Hey, listen, the Rays have their opening day tomorrow.
Okay.
A lot of questions about the roster and what's going on tomorrow. But I'm just going to give a really quick analysis. I think they get 80 wins. I think they're going to match last year. I don't see very much improvement in the roster. The pitching is going to be a big question. We'll see what happens with that. A couple key signings and Nick Martinez and what he's doing. But, we'll see what happens. But, hey, listen, I'll get out of here. I'll call in on Monday and we'll make something happen.
Tickets on Monday, and who knows? Maybe
Let's
I
do it.
will. Maybe I will give you a live after the Rays game. How about that, Rays fans? Maybe a little Rays post game from the Sports Web. Maybe we'll start doing that. Maybe we give the Rays fans some incentive.
Let's do it, man.
All right,
let's make it happen.
Appreciate the call as always, Alex.
All right, brother.
All right. Again, somebody texts you, says, "Hey, you want an update on the Lightning?" Yes, I want an update on the Lightning. These guys from We the Thunder podcast, love having them on here. Shooter and Schoolie, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Big time news today, surprising news today. Victor Hedman steps away from the team. Let's start there. Again, for personal reasons, we don't know why, but we can go ahead and talk about that. And of course, the Lightning with the big win over Minnesota after getting down. Once again, fellas, welcome to the evolution here on a Happy Hump Day edition.
Hey, we love it, man. We were just live. And we're going back, talking, about to post our stuff. And, we tune into the Sports Web. What can we say? I shoot you a message. I'm like, hey, you guys need a Lightning update. We're sitting here. Let's get us on there. A lot going on today, right? The shocking news of the captain, Victor Hedman, leave of absence. If you look at anything that's out there, the shocking news is really there's not much out there. We talked about it on our show. It's a lot of times you see a leave of absence. It's not that uncommon. Things happen. A lot of times it's a personal thing or this or that. And you get a little bit of information on it. But on this, we got nothing. So we don't want to speculate because Lightning fans don't like speculation.
Unless it's about Connor McDavid, by the way, which he continues to talk up the Tampa Bay Lightning and Nikita Kucherov. So people think, maybe he's coming here in 2028. But yeah, you're exactly right. The Victor Hedman situation is crazy. Schoolie, give me your thoughts on this news today that happened with Hedman. And I will say, he hasn't necessarily had his best year, and whether that's father time or, again, we find out something's personal going on. And give me your thoughts on when you heard this story.
Yeah, we've talked about this all season. There's been no love lost with me and Hedman this year. I said he's been totally slowed down. He's noticeably heavier than he has been in recent years. This year, he's played very little time. He's been injured. He had surgery. He's came back 3 or 4 times and then has been re-injured. So it's been, and honestly, this team plays better without him, which is not usually the case when you're missing a captain. And so he got injured in a game. At least we were believed he left in the middle of a game a week ago. These last couple of games, the Lightning announced he was out due to illness. Was the last thing we heard. And then today was the breaking news that he's taken time away from the team. Tons of speculations, like Shooter said. There's also, you can go back to them signing Corey Perry at the trade deadline. A lot of people said, what was that trade for? My biggest thing has always been he was a voice in the locker room. Stammer said this back when he played with us before. So, and Hedman hasn't really seemed to be that kind of voice in the locker room, which Stammer was not also. So I have said the reason they got Corey Perry back, I thought, was for that leadership role with him and McDonough in the locker room. You have 2 older veteran guys on this team that can really, they need that going into the playoffs. And then it's like, well, did they see this with Hedman? We also know that this year the Lightning have signed almost all the defensive free agents during the season, which never happens. And then their one best defenseman who's having a record year for himself, Darren Radish, they said, we are not going to sign him during the season. We think he deserves a big payday, and we're going to let him explore it afterwards. Well, all of a sudden this week, now that Hedman's been out from illness, that they have been talking with Radish and have been talking about re-signing him. So has there been something in the back with the Lightning and Hedman, we don't know. Like, it's all speculation. If you go on X, there's 900 different things. Just in messages from today, I've gotten, I think, 10 different scenarios. Well, people have heard this, people have heard that. Nothing has been verified. And even if it has, if this was obviously a statement put out by the Hedman and the Lightning camp, so it's something they don't want us to know yet.
Yeah, they certainly don't. You talk about Radish, Shooter. I mean, this has been a year for him where he looks like he's definitely going to earn another contract, a big-time contract. I mean, how surprised are you with the year that he's had for the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Honestly, shocking. It is shocking. Darren Radish played for the Lightning a little bit, went and played on other teams a little bit, came back here just kind of on a flyer, and has scored 20 goals. So 20 goals for a defenseman is really, really good. In fact, last night he got his 20th, and there's only 2 other guys that have worn this jersey. I'm wearing one. We just talked about him, Hedman. And then the other guy, if you guys remember way back when we won our first Stanley Cup, we had a guy named Dan Boyle, who was an offensive defenseman, a juggernaut back there scoring goals. So we haven't seen a guy like this in Tampa Bay for a while. Hedman is we still always kind of think of him as a defensive defenseman, not as a goal scorer. But he did hit the 20 goal mark at one point in his career. So for Radish to hit that, well, good for him, man. He's going to get himself paid. Hopefully it's with the Lightning. It's some sort of discount because, as you know, the Lightning are always up against the cap. But he's earned himself a contract, a life-changing contract in the NHL. Not many NHL players can hit 20 goals. And, man, he's just a fun player to watch. Like, you watch this guy wind up. He's got the fastest shot in the NHL, and he's really taken over that spot that used to be Hedman's spot on the power play. And I think if there is a silver lining, and a lot of Bolts fans that have been tuning in all season know this already, is the Lightning have had a lot of Victor Hedman on IR this season. Same thing with McDonough, and they played their best stretch of hockey with both those guys out, and their best stretch defensively. So, it always sucks. You don't want your captain out, and hopefully it's not anything personal or anything bad that's happening around him. But it's not like an emergency situation that he's going to be out. A lot of people would say it's a good thing. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that, by the way. Thomas might say that, though.
I mean, you think about it. We did not know a name like Destu at the beginning of this season. A lot of people didn't know Radish, or if they knew Radish, it was not in good tone. Now, Radish his father did pass away from cancer recently. And he said this year he was playing for his dad. So of course he had a little extra in his step this year, but even someone like a Lilleberg, who a year ago, Lightning fans were like, get rid of him, too many penalties. And we saw at the beginning of this season, he was taking stupid penalties, but I think he had a talking to, and I think he had a come to Cooper moment, who John Cooper 13 years ago today was hired to be the coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And is the winningest coach in Tampa Bay Lightning history. And I think they were like, dude, stay out of the box. And ever since then, he, instead of being a liability, he's been an asset for us. And we saw him return the other night with a cage on his face, and he led to the first ever shorthanded goal by Nikita Kucherov when he laid Connor McDavid out and turned over the puck. And they got JJ Moser, another defenseman who this year has really did a name for himself. I mean, you're seeing this team. We've been marred with injuries all season, mostly defensively. And it's just next guy up. We were saying we needed defensemen all off season, and they got someone like a Destu, and people were not happy about this. Destu's been the top defenseman in every single league except for the NHL. He has won the top defenseman for every single league he has ever been in. So, they get this guy, the scouts get this guy, and he comes out of nowhere, and he comes up this season, and he's never went back down. So, we've done a lot of games without Hedman, and the record without Hedman is a lot better than the record with Hedman. So going into the playoffs, which officially start on the 18th of next month, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
It will be interesting. We're on with We the Thunder here talking Tampa Bay Lightning. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Shooter and, of course, Schooley here. Go back to last night's game. I mean, again, typical Tampa Bay Lightning. They get down early, but it's never say die with this team. I mean, what is it, what is it, Shooter, about this team, and why do they – is it Nikita Kucherov? Is it the goaltending? Is it guys stepping up? What is it about this team where, once again, even though they get down early, you never think that they're out of the game?
They're never out of it. That's the thing. And when you have a game, and for the Lightning, it just happened to be at Raymond James Stadium, where you can come back down, 4 goals, like that sticks with the team. Like they will carry on that mentality of, hey, we've been down this much before. They went down 2 goals in the first period last night. That's nothing compared to what they did in the comeback with Boston. So like those moments, they stick. Those guys remember that. That's on their mind. And there's something to say about chemistry and confidence, like same thing in football and other sports, right? When you get rolling and you have that confidence in chemistry, a team like the Lightning, they're never out of it. Now, the first period last night, they looked horrible. It didn't even look like a playoff team, but that's kind of hockey. That's kind of what you see with the Lightning for years. You can see them take 20 minutes off, and then the next 40 minutes are awesome. There was a couple moments in the last week. Schooley downplayed one, so we're going to go through that one again. But one of them was from last night's game, first responder night. So awesome. Lightning do all these great like theme nights if you've never been to a game. Last night, first responder night. So really good time. I think Pride Night is on Thursday night. By the way, if you'll let me, Peter Blake, I've got a code for SeatGeek, and the reason why I want to share this is because the Lightning are on a 7-game homestand. That does count last night's game. We can get you $20 off with our code, strike20 on SeatGeek.com. So if you give me the thumbs up, I'll put that in the chat. So if anyone wants,
put it in the chat right now. It's definitely always a thumbs up to save people money, especially when they're going out to the Tampa Bay Lightning game there. So put it up there in the box.
Because we want to see you at games. We're at most games. We don't go to all of them. But if you do go to a game, DM us. We'll tell you where to meet us during intermission. Have a beer with us or a soda, whatever it is. But going back to last night, Eric Chernak, not a goal scorer, defensive man, doesn't score a lot of goals. Scored twice this season. One was last night. You probably saw the highlight. He scored a goal that wasn't called a goal right away for some reason. It was clearly in. But the coolest thing about this goal was he hit and broke the camera that's inside of the net. So there's that camera inside the net. It's got like a little glass bubble on it. He shattered it. The craziest thing was they didn't even call it a goal. Like the horn didn't go off. Like you see him celebrating. I'm in the stand celebrating. And we're just like, wait, are the refs going to screw us again? Because that was clearly in, right? But that was a great moment seeing Chernak score like that. The game-winning goal with like under 5 minutes left. And to complete the comeback, they did end up winning 6-3 with some empty netters. The other one, Schooley, you got to really pump up when a moment like this happens. This is like the moment of the year when Nikita Kucherov scored that shorthanded goal in Edmonton. I know a lot of us were sleeping because this was Saturday night, probably at about 11:30 p.m. But second period, and by the way, so here's the whole story. Nikita Kucherov, who's been down here all season, started super slow, basically took off the first month of the season. Just
in points.
Right. And so the race for NHL points, right? David always up here, right? So they're playing on Saturday night head to head. Well, Cooch has been on such a tear that Cooch catches up. He's a point behind McDavid for this Saturday night game in McDavid's bar. McDavid scores the first goal of the game, gives himself some distance, and then Cooch just comes out and has a 3-point second period, completes and here's how he takes over McDavid for points. McDavid is on the power play, taking the puck to the net, and Emil Lilleberg, the Lightning defender, checks him right on his ass. As Nikita Kucherov is getting out of the box, he just served his penalty. He gets hit with an outlet pass, scores a breakaway goal, takes the NHL lead for points in the season, and again, took off basically the first month for fun. Right. So now you've got everyone that's starting to really get behind this whole story of, hey, this is Nikita Kucherov's MVP season. He has won it before, but it's been several years when he first won it back in 17-ish. But he is right now the hands down favorite to win the Hart Trophy, which is the MVP. One other moment, and this kind of spanned through a lot of their West Coast road trip last week, which was awesome. And I would love to see the Bucs do this, but I know the Bucs are kind of changing up their play-by-play this season.
Yes.
What they did was they have Dave Mishkin is the really loud guy who does the radio calls, mostly with Phil Esposito for the radio call on 101.5 The Bone. The other guy is Dave Randorf, and Dave Randorf does the color or the play-by-play for TV that you usually watch. Those guys switch spots. So you had the radio guy doing TV, you had the TV guy doing radio. And I was just thinking for the Bucs, like, and I know he just retired, but how cool would that have been to see maybe just for one game to see what's his name from the radio?
Gene Deckerhoff.
Go on. Yeah.
Yes.
Bring him back for one more game on TV.
Bring him back. Yes, bring him back. Absolutely. You're absolutely correct about that. It would have been cool. And it was cool to have Dave on there on the TV broadcast because he just brings a different energy. I love that energy, guys. I really do. I love that energy from him. I love Dave Randolph. He does a great job, but I also love Mish. He's tremendous.
I've got the opportunity 3 times now to be able to be in the booth because one of the Lightning season ticket member perks is you can ask to be in the radio booth with Phil and Dave up there for a period. And I've got to do it now 3 times. And it is by far the best experience you can ever have at a Lightning game, standing behind Hall of Famer Phil Esposito and Dave Mishkin screaming goal, score, whatever he screams. And just the banter they have while it's on commercial. It's just really a fun time. If any season tech members see this, go ask your rep, see if you can get up there. They do every period at every home game, and it's such a fun time to do.
Definitely a fun time. I want to go out to this comment right there. If you're going out to a Lightning game, again, the Bolts have a 7-game homestand. Go to GameOnSeatGeek.com. Use the code STRIKE20 and you get $20 off your first time purchase. So I may have to, partake in that. I need to get out to a Lightning game or two. I need to stop working.
We got you. You messaged me. We got you covered.
If you have kids, Saturday is Kids Day. It's Thunderbug's birthday. So it's going to be full of the local mascots. You usually see Captain Fear there. You usually see Raymond there. So Saturday is mascot day. Sunday is the return of Steven Stamkos. So he returns against the Predators 5:00 on Sunday. It's also Bucket Hagel Pepsi Bucket Hat Day. For the first 1,000 fans get the Hagel bucket hat from Pepsi. But I would imagine that Stamkos coming back, this is his second time returning since he's left the Lightning. And I have a feeling that one's going to be a big game and we are almost guaranteed automatically a playoff spot. We're at the cusp. Right now, their magic number is 18 to guarantee a spot. Nashville is fighting for that playoff spot, so I have a feeling that's going to be a great game. So either one, Saturday or Sunday. Thursday is Pride Night. Tomorrow night is Pride Night. So, what was that?
Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, Seattle Kraken is in town tomorrow night. So come out and join one of the games.
Absolutely. All right. Speaking of legends walking away, we just had Mike Evans leave, which was a shocker to a lot of Bucs fans. School, all right, and Shooter, and we also had Lavonte David retire. Shooter, first you, how surprised were you by Mike Evans walking away from the Bucs, going to the San Francisco 49ers, and now Lavonte David retiring from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? How surprised are you by this transition, if you will? And I'll throw it out there. Like, a lot of people thought the Lightning weren't going to be good, and maybe it's not the same situation when they got rid of Stamkos, but they were actually better. They were younger. I'm kind of trying to look at the Bucs in the same kind of deal here. Emeka Ibuka, Jalen McMillan, Chris Godwin, they still have talent on this team. They may actually be better, as crazy as that sounds, losing your offensive face possibly on your offensive leader, and also losing your defensive leader and the Lavonte David. Could you see that situation? What did you think of this situation? Go ahead.
I like the linebackers that the Bucs got, and I thought that was something that they had to fix. I'm very upset that they continue to ignore not having a pass rusher on the team.
Right.
How long are we going to do this? How long are we seriously going to do this? Because since Jack Barrett left, it's just been like, I could play quarterback against the Bucs. I think you're right, because you lose players. You filled the void, I think, with free agency, and only time will tell. But I do like the linebackers they picked up. And then with Mike Evans, I felt like those last couple games, you saw the body language. He wasn't happy with what was going on. So I wasn't shocked that Mike left. Is it sad that for both of them not to be in Bucs uniforms anymore and Lavonte is retired? Yeah, but those are two voids that they can fill. They've already got the guys there at wide receiver, because you got to think Ubeka is only going to get better his second year, and you've got these guys that haven't really had a chance to be in the spotlight because it's been Evans, who, the last couple of years, he's missed a lot of games too. So, hopefully, knock on wood, these guys can stay healthy on offense, but defensively, they needed to do something about that linebacker. And I think Lavonte David was such a good, quiet player. Like, he always made that key play when you needed him to. He was always Mr. Reliable. The thing that impressed me the most, and I don't know if this goes all the way back till when the Bucs were on Hard Knocks, which was a while ago now. But it might have been a different show. But when they started to talk about that Buccaneer way, and the one player that, encompasses what they want in a Buccaneer, they say it's Lavonte David. So that was and again, I'm sorry, I forget what show it was on where they started to talk about that, but and it might have just been the Bucs YouTube show that they do. But that to me was one of the most impressive things about Lavonte David. This guy's so good. They model every player that they look at after him. That's the guy they want. So I have a ton of respect for Lavonte David, and yeah, it's a sad day in Tampa Bay with both those guys gone.
Do you think I'm sorry, go ahead, School.
The first thing, everybody's pointing to is Todd Bowles. Was this Evans didn't believe in Bowles, Lavonte David didn't believe in Bowles. Almost all of Tampa Bay don't believe in Bowles. So, and this is kind of the comparison I would do to the Lightning with Stamkos. It was believed Stamkos and the general manager of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Julian Breezeball, had a disagreement, and it was not resolved. And that is why Stammer moved on. And that's why JVV didn't offer him another contract. And so, when Mike Evans went, everybody believed it was going to be Houston, which I thought for sure if he was going to go, it was going to go to Houston. To see him go to San Fran was kind of surprising. Is this a knock against Bowles? And I think in his comments that he said, I think it was a knock against Bowles. And Lavonte, I mean, at first I was like, okay, yeah, he doesn't like the system. He doesn't believe in this. Bowles brought in his son to be one of the coaches. And then when I heard him talk how it was time for him to be a father to that little girl, and how emotional he got. There's a time when players say, you know what, it's time to be a father. It's time to get out of here. I've done all I can. Do I think he knew this next year was not going to be a Super Bowl run for the Bucs? And he's already got a buttload of money, so might as well just go ahead and say goodbye now and get out and go spend time with his daughter instead of missing 17 weeks from her next year and going through all that training camp and everything else and toll on his body when he knows this was not a Super Bowl caliber team for next year. I love Baker. I love the receivers. I love Godwin. I think Emeka's going to be even close to an Evans in the future. But I think they're a couple years away.
They might be. Do you think it could be a case, guys, where the Bucs would be better off without, as crazy as it sounds, because I kind of related to the situation with Stamkos. Everybody thought it was doom and gloom and the Lightning were going to go down. And again, you see the talent there. The talent is on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Could you actually see this team being better off without both of those guys and Evans and David Shooter?
It's kind of tough to envision, to be honest with you. Yeah. Especially with what I said earlier, that pass rush just kills me watching them.
It does.
But no, it gives a chance for other guys to step up. And if you've been watching the Lightning, that's what you've seen all season. We talked about Radish. We've been on this show before and talked about the emergence of guys like Dominic James that came out of nowhere. Stu, who Schooley mentioned, came out of nowhere, but not really. If you knew hockey internationally, you've seen this guy and you've seen him dominate wherever he goes, and somehow people let the Lightning sign him. You don't get a chance to see what you got until you get him on the ice or if you get him on the field. So there's still hope there for the Bucs. They still play in the NFC South, so it's anyone's ball game. But I do hope something slips through the cracks, or there's a strange trade in the preseason to get a pass rush. I think that's the most underrated part of football. Teams that win Super Bowls have a pass rush, and that's how we beat Mahomes in that last Super Bowl. We were killing him.
Yeah, with JPP and, of course, Shaq Barrett, they're hoping that Muhammad from Detroit, Harris Schooley with 11 sacks, he can duplicate that effort. Only a one-year contract at this point. Of course, they're going to draft somebody. Could you see that they would actually be better without those older guys to give the new guys a chance? Or you kind of agree with Shooter at this point, School?
I think they get the defense and they're going to be better. I don't think Super Bowl caliber. I think they'll definitely make the playoffs. Maybe go into the second round of the playoffs, because I think the offense was there, and I think we saw it with Evans hurt. I think we have the receivers. I think we have the quarterback. The running game looks like it's going to be strong again this year. It's that defense. And I think even with Lavonte, I think the defense, you're not losing too much there. It's the rest of the defense. If they can get a defense they put together, this team, I think, will be the NFC South champs.
It's as crazy as it sounds. They're actually the favorites right now in the clubhouse. Give me some final thoughts here, Shooter, on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the week ahead.
So if you're not watching the Lightning, now's the time to start. We got 12 games left until the playoffs. Most of them are right here at home. You got the code. Go use the code. Follow us. Follow Thunderbolts on Facebook, because sometimes you'll see Thomas Schooley post on a game day, hey, I got an extra pair of tickets. First one to, or whoever says go Bolts, the best wins it. I think he does it wrong. But yeah, follow Thunderbolts, follow us for updates. Now is a great time to jump in. If you haven't been watching the Lightning this season, you've been missing out on a really fun season. From the Olympic break, we got to see a lot of these players play for their country. Jake Gensel win the gold with the USA. We got to see an outdoor game there at Raymond James Stadium, which was an awesome game in itself. So it's been just a really cool season. And I don't know if we're a Stanley Cup champion team yet, but we've got the makings of it. There was a really great stat out there. We didn't even bring it up on our show about some of the top 5 stats that the last 10 Stanley Cup winners, had top 5 in these columns. And the Lightning were the only team in the NHL that checked those boxes. So they've got the caliber to get there. And what's really interesting about this year's playoffs, you're not going to have Toronto. You're not going to have Florida. You're going to have a couple new teams in the mix. Buffalo, Montreal, led by Marty St. Louis, a Lightning legend. So it's going to be a really fun, interesting playoffs, and it might just play in the advantage of the Lightning. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, finally a year without Florida. No Toronto, as talented as they are. Been very disappointing with them. School, give me some final thoughts here on the evolution.
Yeah, like he said, these next couple of weeks are going to be really interesting. You have teams that, like you said, Buffalo, but you also got Boston, who has been the top echelon, and we all hate Boston fans in every single sport. They're not doing so great, so they could be a first round exit. You're going to have some matchups that we have not seen in the last couple of years. So it's going to be a fun time. We go live after every single playoff game come the playoffs, and all the way up to whenever the Lightning get eliminated or win the cup, either one. So, and of course, Peter's always welcome to come on those times.
Absolutely, always, guys. You listen. You open the door for me. I open the door for you. You're always welcome here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Shooter, go ahead and promote this great podcast that you guys got going on. If you're a Tampa Bay Lightning, just a Tampa Bay sports fan, we need more guys like us. This is what we do here on the sports web. So go ahead and promote yourself. Shoot.
So if you just search "We the Thunder" podcast, you might get some. What is it? The Oklahoma City Thunder. you might get a basketball podcast, but I think most of the links lead to us. Probably the most active on Twitter, but please, no snowflakes. We had a heck of a day on Twitter today where we had some very emotional fans with this Victor Hedman news. Emotional fans that did not like what we had to say about it. Actually, we didn't even say anything about it. Anyway. Don't be soft, because we will snap back at you. I still play hockey. I see your comment there, Mike.
Yeah, but Mike, come on, man. He's from Canada.
Question about hockey, by the way, tough guy. Ask us any question, and I don't know if you heard me, but I still play. I know how to take your jersey or your shirt and pull it over your head. Okay.
But by the way, I just looked at his profile. Blackhawks fan.
It's a northerner. Guess what? We're from the north too. Okay, we came here. Now we cheer for the Lightning. That's how it's supposed to work.
That's
Welcome on board. Whenever you're ready, we're here with open arms. And We the Thunder Pod. We'd love you to have you follow us, Mike.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. Follow them. We the Thunder podcast. They do a great job after Lightning games. We're going to try to get them on more and more here on the sports web, because everybody's like, all you talk about is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then you talk Rays. That's a long season. Can we talk more Bucs? And then like, the Lightning, well, hockey season's hockey. Like, we're going to try to give everybody what they want. We're going to give the Tampa Bay sports fan what they want here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Peter, what's your thoughts on the Rays this year?
I say 85-86, but listen, I'm the eternal optimist on the show. I agree with my guy, Bushman of the Rays Rewind podcast. We had him on earlier, and I think Shane McClanahan can return to form there if he can. Junior Caminero being the face of the franchise. I'm excited about this team being back in the Trop. I know everybody's like, oh, they're back in the Trop, but you don't have to deal with the miserable weather. I think that definitely hurt the Rays last year. As crazy as that sounds, they wilted under that heat. I think it'll be better this year. I think if they could stay healthy, which is a big if, but if they can stay healthy, I see them 85-86 wins, possibly a wild card spot. But
I think they make the playoffs. This new ownership, I really like this new ownership.
Yes.
I think. Do you remember? You've been here a while. Do you remember back in the day when the Rays, before Sternberg, where they used to have all the billboards, they used to go out and meet the fans, they used to do all these fan activities, and that's how you had people in the Trop. And that's what it looks like. I mean, what they say now, if you buy a ticket, they're going to give you $10 back to be able to use. If you buy any ticket in the month of April, the owner said, we're going to give you $10 back to use at any of the concession stands inside the Trop. So that right there is worth buying the ticket for any game in April. For you hockey fans, they're going to do a Rays hockey jersey night, which I think we're going to end up getting group tickets to go to that one. So they have some great giveaways this year. The ownership really seems to be into the team. and wants to make it work in the Tampa Bay area. Not saying Pete plan on moving them to Tampa, but he wants to keep it here in Tampa, and it really seems like he wants to be leaving Mark here in Tampa like Mr. Vinnick did for the Lightning.
I love it, and I think it's what the Tampa Bay Ray fans deserve. They deserve real ownership. And listen, what have they had? They've owned the team for 3 or 4 months, and they've done more, in my opinion, than the previous ownership.
Yeah.
And then that's saying a lot, man. I think it goes a long way with the Rays fans, and they deserve it. And I'm hoping that it works out. And I definitely heard that it's going to work out. They're going to get that new stadium there in Tampa, right down the street where I'm living.
HCC.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the race season. Again, people say they're going to finish last. I say, let's let the season play out. Everybody was like, the Lightning, they're not going anywhere. Let's let the season play out. You just never know. Tampa Bay sports, you got to love it, guys. Appreciate the time here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Thanks,
all right. Anytime. Get you on Wednesday nights. We'll talk Tampa Bay Lightning hockey anytime, guys. All right.
All right. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Appreciate you. Yes, absolutely. Those guys are killing it. We the Thunder. By the way, hold on a sec. Before you leave, I want to tell you something. I was listening to the Mike O show on 102.5 The Bone. He's a big fan of you guys.
I know, Mike. I was texting him about the game last night. Yeah.
I like Mike. He's always been good to me. He does a great show there on Saturday afternoons. Get a chance to listen to it when I'm driving the Go Bucs red Tesla down there. And Braden said I got a chance to listen to him, and he was shouting you guys out. I'm like, those are my guys right there. He's shouting out. I love to hear it, man. Keep on killing it with your Tampa Bay Lightning coverage. Love it, man.
That's funny because, Mike's a really good guy. He actually plays hockey too. And he had been on the show, and actually I was texting him about the game last night, and I was telling him like, hey, you gotta come back on. He's a massive Bolts fan. And one of the cool things about him, I'm sure he probably doesn't talk about it too much on his show, I'm sure he's mentioned it before though, is he did like the music for the very first Lightning season. Like he was the guy that was at the, what was it? It was at the fairgrounds that first season. And he did the goal horn and the music and everything for it. And I'm like, no way. But yeah, that guy's the man.
Good stuff, man. I was happy to hear that, because then I remember you always saying you guys were inspired by what we do here. So I was just like, damn, that is good stuff. That's what I like to hear. That's what I hear about the Tampa Bay sports community, that there's more than radio, there's more than television, there's live streaming shows like We the Thunder. Love it, man. Congratulations on the success. I think it's going to go as far as you guys want it to go. Just keep on putting in the time that you guys do. And we'll definitely have you here on the Sports Web on Wednesday nights. All right.
You definitely have kind of paved the path for what we wanted to kind of do. And now, like, honestly, we just try to have fun.
Yes.
Do this. And I think that's what, other people kind of get into. And just like your show, the chats go in, we get people involved, we get them talking. So, that's what it's all about. The show's not really about us. It's about really, this team.
That's it. It's about the team, about the fans. It's about the Tampa Bay sports community. We love it. Thanks a lot again. And, we'll see you soon.
I will. We'll talk. Thank you.
All right. Good stuff there. Great stuff there from We the Thunder. He's like, you're not a Lightning fan. I am. I watch. We talk about it. You guys don't pay attention. You guys don't want to pay attention. You just want to be critical. It's okay. It's okay to be critical sometime. I'm okay with handling it. Come on, Mike. Let's go out to Mr. Taylor there. Thank you very much for tuning in on TikTok. Maybe not worse. 2 damn good linebackers and really good defensive end. Yeah, I think they are. I think they're pretty good. I mean, again, not the big time names. But maybe they're able to make this defense better. I think anything can make this defense better. Let's go out to great night, all on the live stream broadcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Here, Eric says, let's go. Let's go. I'm going to read backwards here. Hey, Pete, hope you're doing well. You were doing a great job on your show as well. Keep it up. Thank you. Appreciate you. As always, keep on tuning in. Chris Cole says Hedman shouldn't have went to the Olympics. I don't know what's going on with him. Not going to speculate, but he has not been the same player. Maybe there's something personal going on. This Lightning team continues to find ways to win. Happy birthday, Christy. Great show. Thank you, Real Berg Native. Appreciate that. Lamar, aloha, Peter H. Blake, mahalo for your time talking. Let's go Bucs. Sad for LD54. Absolutely said, let's go Bucs. Let's go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy.
Let's go.
Wait up.
Let's go Bucs.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Fire the cannon.
It is exciting. And I do still have your sign up here as I don't want to leave the mic. It is right there. I'm still trying to figure, like, I'm thinking like right there, maybe. Like, does that, what do you guys think? Right there? Is that good? We put that right there. We like that thing up right there. I think that looks good. I don't think that looks bad. I gotta hide the wire, but I'm thinking I'm going with that. I think that's where I'm gonna go with it. Or I was gonna go in that corner there. But again, it's tricky with again, putting things up and stuff like that. So I'll figure this out. I will figure it out. We always do. And I'm gonna put that All-Star jersey. That's on the floor. That's not in the case. I'm going to put that in the case. So maybe when I put that in the case, maybe I'll put that Bucs thing right up there. But that is a lighted sign. That is a beautiful thing. Thank you, Lamar. That means a lot to me. And we'll continue to put that up there. So we'll leave it up there for now. We'll see what you guys think. Put the comments in there in the box. If you like that right there, is it too much? I don't think it's ever too much. Like, it's never too much when fans appreciate what we do here. By sending things to put on the wall of just Bucs and Rays. And again, we got to get some lightning stuff up there somehow, some way. We're going to figure this out. We'll figure it out. Monday, everyone. Alex, absolutely. Thank you very much. Sarah, yes, thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah. Sarah, again, go Rays, go Rays. Brian, not Mike, maybe Godwin. More. Okay, Brian. Thank you, Tim. The over-under on how many times he says listen is 7. Thank you, Tim. That's very funny. Oh, yeah. Love Alex. Love what he does. They do disrespect us. They do, Brian. Wirfs is the face of the franchise, says Chris Cole. Defense will be better than people think next season. I agree. Only 10 players have first-round grades in this year's draft. It will be a tough draft. You got to get a player that's going to come in here and give you production right away. But again, you have veterans. You're not just depending on, those rookies. Let's go out to Walter Burgess. Syracuse DL, Deion Wilson Jr. would be a great addition to our squad. Thank you, Walter. I think you said you're Viper Man from the California Buckaholics. Love that. I went to high school with Tommy Frazier. Very cool. Small world, Tim. Yeah. King Cook. Ironically, I think Morrison will take the next step. I like him. I think him getting a full training camp in this year will boost his confidence in year 2. I agree. It never helps when you start off the season with a hamstring injury and you're not there in training camp and you're not able to get the preseason reps like you want. It just doesn't help. It does not help the situation. So a full off season, get the opportunity. The game slows down a little bit. You have a small sample size. Stay healthy. I think there's big time expectations for him. Tim says Tristan Wirfs is the face of the franchise. Thank you, Tim, for that. Oh, yeah. Let's go out to Ed. I am not drunk. I don't drink. I know you don't. Thank you for calling in. Appreciate you, as always. Winston is a national treasure. I believe he was on the coverage tonight for Netflix. Yeah. LBD should be first ballot, but they probably are going to make him wait. The numbers will get him in. Agree? Oh, yeah. Brent says Cook, he had 144 tackles with 6 sacks, 5 picks, and I think 6 fumble forces that year. Christopher Cole, how many Super Bowls do these guys have? Brent, again, he should be the first ballot Hall of Famer. King Cook, Brent, why they gave it to Luke that year. Let's go out to Walter. Again, Viper Man from California Buckaholics in here. Love that. Walter says, what's up with you? Oh, yeah. Let's go out to Brent. David should have been defensive MVP that year. Luke Kuechly won it, beat him out in every stat. King Cook was Selman first ballot's Hall of Fame. It's a great question. I can't answer that right now because my brain is mush, so I'll get that answer for you. I don't necessarily know if he was first ballot Hall of Fame. Not only do we have player holes on offense and defense, we have philosophy and scheme holes on both sides of the ball as well. King Cook, you have to have a ground and pound game to win. Look at all the contenders in the league. They all have it. Melinda, Mindy, Dykstra House made it. Thank you very much for tuning in there. Appreciate you, as always, Mindy. What no one is talking about, how Zach Robinson transforms our running game. We have to have it to win. I agree. I think there's certainly an opportunity there with having Bucky Irving and Kenneth Gainwell and Sean Tucker in the mix. I definitely think that running game will improve, which takes the pressure off of Baker Mayfield. In 2019, the Bucs defense was trash. The first year in Bulls defense, the second year, they got better halfway through the season. Necessarily think it was trash. It was hurt by the fact that Winston was turning over the ball. Bain Jr. or Mesidor in the first round, Jacob Rodriguez in the second round. Chris Cole, we can only hope.
Ooh, yeah.
Love those comments right there. Cook, yep, ain't lying, bro. People don't understand it's going to take at least a year to become a good defense. Brian Zion Young also got into trouble as well, so we'll see if the Bucs stay away from that. People forget about continuity on the field with all these new players. It's going to take time getting used to playing with each other. Absolutely. Brian says, I can, especially when you lost your main red zone threat. They could get a tight end. Malachi Lawrence is sitting there from UCF. Other edges, Kyle Lewis in the third and Takero Davis at corner. Cole says, as a father, I commend David for his decision. Well done. God bless him. His family, his daughter, extremely blessed, not because of his wallet or lifetime earnings, but because of the man under the helmet. We have lost a Buccaneer legend, but the city is better off with quality father in the city. No question, says King Cook. Brent, David should be Ring of Honor next year. Let's see. Plus, LVD knows his body. Can't take it anymore. That's okay, too. Tribal Troll, great show. Pete, OJ Howard, remember, I do. No more drafting tight ends in the first round. Agree. I'm not sold on Oregon players in general, period. They never translate to the league. Bucky Irving called. He wanted to know what you were talking about because he's an Oregon Duck and it's been pretty good so far. So we'll see how that works out. Thank you very much, guys, for all tuning in. Thanks a lot to all the guests of the night. Mr. L. Bushman of the Rays Rewind Podcast, getting you ready for Tampa Bay Rays baseball as they take on the St. Louis Cardinals. An opening day for your Tampa Bay Rays. Love to hear that horn. You're not going to hear it tomorrow, but hopefully when they come back to the Trop here next week, you'll hear it. And then, of course, thanks a lot to the guys there at We the Thunder, Shooter and Schooley for coming on, giving us a Tampa Bay Lightning update. And, of course, as always, the fans, the comments. You guys are the lifeblood. Once again, happy birthday to my sister. Hope you enjoyed your day. The weekend is coming up. Let's get together. Once again, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. And do three things. Remember, before we go to that, like and subscribe to Bucs Latest on the Fan Arch Network. And, of course, we have you covered for Bucs information every day, 10 to 15 minutes at 11 a.m. Go ahead and do that. And three things as we get you out of here for the night. The roommates are sleeping, so we'll keep it down. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially Go Bucs fans, Raise Up fans, and Lightning fans, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. As we always say on this show, Go Bucs.